Fox 5, and I'm real live. Listen, man, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, the only podcast where we truly keep it a buck. I'm not gonna do too much dilly dallying on the intro. Two man as of right now, me, B Souls, but we do have a special guest. If you're new to this and you want to be true to this, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, subscribe, join, all that jazz. If you want to support us, Superchats, Cash Apps, we'll stop anything and everything we're doing. Look, man, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. I don't want to delay. The special guest is here, Coach Nick.
All right. I'm doing well. I have no sleep, but I'm here.
Why don't you have?
I was up all night last night trying to get this Lakers video, and I'm trying to get another video done right now. And welcome to my world as the playoffs are in full swing.
Well, that is very much true. I'm not gonna do any dilly dallying. So we saw your video, about Doc Rivers. And I want to get some things out there. This is my hot take of the week. Just my hot take of the week. I think that people are being too critical of Doc Rivers. I also think that people are being too critical on coaching in general. Partly because people don't know anything about coaching when it comes to NBA basketball. I'm not going to act like I'm a supreme genius in it either, but people just don't know what they're talking about. So, outside of this videoed format, Coach Nick, why do you think that Doc Rivers deserved to be fired?
Okay. Well, and thanks for having me on, by the way. It's always a Twitter, it still works where you can mention somebody and I see it and I hop into your live for a second to see that you're letting.
That was crazy. You joined a live with like 8 people. I was like, wait, what the fuck, Coach?
So here's the thing about Doc that I think has been whispered around for a while was that, he's the good people manager and he's good, that way. X's and O's aren't really the strongest point of his resume. And I think what always resonated with me was the meltdowns, the consistent way that his teams would just falter in really high pressure situations compared to a lot of other coaches who are probably considered in the same realm as him. And so I'd always kind of wanted to do a video like this to kind of explain it. But I totally get it because what I was going back and forth with this thinking everyone, and I'll show you the text for the other people I know saying, people are going to yell at me just like you were saying, these are the players' problems. It's their fault. Why is it the coach's fault if he throws the ball away on the court? And so that is a legitimate thing. But, the context of Doc was like, he got fired in Orlando. I know that roster construction was not really good at all. But it sounded like there's a lot of disarray there. He was about to be fired in Boston. Like somehow, some way he hung on just long enough where they can do the KG and the Ray Allen trade and they win a title. But like he was out like that wasn't going to happen. And it kind of in a weird way, like, Budenholzer was, 1 inch from being fired if KD's foot was behind the line in Game 7 against Brooklyn. He wins, and then all of a sudden, oh my God! But all the issues that were surrounding him when he's about to get fired were still there. Now, certainly with the Clippers, the meltdowns were epic across the entire landscape. I probably could have done a half an hour just of those games. So that was what I resonated with, and I know I'm talking a lot, but I think that the point I wanted to make was that I always felt like the way he was on the sidelines and the constant yelling at the referees, and it just seemed like it would be so distracting to his team. And you can't argue with the results. They were distracting. The players would get distracted. They'd get discombobulated. They get dysregulated. Body language, all the things that we study for coaching now were all on display, even from, watching the TV feed. And in my mind, for whether it's right or not, or accurate or not, in my mind, those things directly contribute, especially when you're talking about like the Game 7s that I focused on.
Let me ask you this, just in general, not on Doc Rivers. When do you think that it's a player's fault versus a coach's fault? Like what do you look at when you're watching a game reviewing tape that makes you say, oh, this is clearly coaching versus, oh, this player is just an idiot?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I know coaches who, certainly feel like they're throwing their hands up. We told them a million times, not to do that, for instance. Sometimes if you pull apart certain mistakes and you kind of realize there might be a conceptual problem with like the play itself, and you're like, well, what was this? Why were they even doing that? And so where I get into the coaches thing is when there is a consistent pattern of trouble, where like, why aren't you getting through to the player? Why are you throwing your hands up and saying, well, he's just dumb, or he keeps making that same mistake? At some point, I would think that the coach needs to be the person who can step in, have some sort of impact on that player. I know the NBA is different because they don't have practices like we do at college or high school. But at some point, his job's on the line, they got to figure out a way. It's like the Jordan Poole thing. Jordan Poole, like, whose fault was that he was a broken player in the playoffs and could not perform and couldn't make a pass barely to a teammate? It's a good debate. It's an interesting question. And at some point, you got to wonder if all the extra stuff that the coach would be doing on the sidelines is just contributing needlessly to that, especially in those pressure moments of like a Game 7 or a Game 6 elimination game.
Do you think Jordan Poole's issues were coaching, or do you think Draymond really punching him in the face affected him for real?
Oh, I think both. I think for sure. What's so weird about the Warriors is that, it happened to Harrison Barnes, right? Harrison Barnes missed like a couple of threes in one finals game, and then like the whole atmosphere turned on him in a second. And then he could feel it, you could tell, and like everything just went downhill so quickly. And it seems like the same thing happened with Poole, because he was doing fine during the regular season, but something happened, right? A turnover or a play, whatever, early in the playoffs. I don't know what it was, but you could just tell he couldn't regulate anymore. And nobody else could help him regulate, which is a big part of coaching, I think, these days, because we understand the value of the mental aspect of the game. And you got to be able to be in tune with that. Like, for instance, I'm kind of convinced. I got to find out. Hopefully I can directly. I'm almost to the point now where with the Miami Heat, when you watch them turn their aggression and their up on defense for like those 5-minute stretches where like in the third quarter we saw, I think that maybe Spoelstra has conditioned them to do that. I honestly feel like we're getting to the point now where you can use, trigger words or keywords to get an emotional response and actually sick your players on these players and just go crazy for 5 minutes with the kind of energy that the coaches are always railing and screaming about. The point being that we're getting somewhere, I think, eventually in the modern game where we understand how important the mental aspect of it is. And if you're not with that and you're still stuck in the past and doing the same kind of coaching communication methods, I think you're going to be, you're not going to make it.
Ooh, that could be that. I could see that even be an issue for Doc. Maybe he's just too old to be coaching. Popovich as well. Let's get him out of there. But I think one of my last questions for now, at least, is who are some other coaches that you're looking at in the league who I just quite frankly need to, how do I say this without being too mean? I want to say take a step back, but really who don't need to have jobs. Because another problem that I have is that you fire a Doc Rivers, you fire a Coach Bud, you fire a Monty Williams just to include in your circle of names, for the Bucks. Oh, top of our list, Doc Rivers. Is that a solve for this problem, or do we need to talk to Giannis, or like what's the disconnect here? I know I asked you a bunch of stuff, but
yeah. Well, I part of me was thinking that as you're asking the question, maybe there was a whole era of the NBA where you just recycle the same coaches over and over again, right? So I think maybe we're talking about that to some degree. They look like the part. They have experience. Like if I were a head coach in the NBA, I would fight to the death to never have as an assistant a former head coach.
Yeah.
What I mean? Because
I agree.
they're going to be like, we don't need it. It's not working well. Bring that guy's already done it. We'll bring him in. And that happens across every level. So that's one part of it. But I got to tell you, like, I'm a little bit older. And so I've actually coached in the Stone Age, the caveman coaching. And I've also sort of had an awakening in a way where I've been more than willing to get out of the box and see the game the way we are now seeing it now in the modern game with different techniques. And I've spent a lot of time on Twitter trying to help coaches understand that there's a whole other world out there that is beyond what you learned that was solidified in 1994, from 100 years before that. So I do feel like there is a certain age of coach, and it also could be related to the fact that they had played in the league as well, that does not resonate anymore, but it hasn't resonated for a long time. Doc was the guy who was like, a player's coach, right? He was a player. And, he can get along with players. He understands them. Well, at some point you get to an age where you do not understand and you do not have that kind of connection anymore because they're so much younger than you. And, like the Ben Simmons thing I can point to. Remember when he went to practice finally in Philadelphia after all that long layoff, but he wasn't really participating in the drills. Remember that?
That was after he told him that he's not the point guard of the.
Had his phone in his pocket and everything.
Yeah. Oh, well, that I put in the video too. I mean, it's like what he said at the end of the game. He shouldn't have taken the question. He shouldn't, whatever it's raw at the moment right after the games. But yeah, like that's another example of that where, there's some old school mentality doesn't recognize that like the players are going to hear what you said and there's going to be some internalization of what you said. And so when he comes back the next year and he's really upset about the whole thing, what does Doc do? He does what coaches had been doing for 100 years before that, which is I'm going to make him do this one drill. And I know he doesn't want to be here. I know he's not going to do it really well. And so I'm now going to detonate all over the guy in front of everybody in the practice and then kick him out because that's what that was done to me. That's what was done to my coach when I was in high school, whatever. So, but again, what is the goal there? Is the goal to figure out how to get Ben Simmons back on the court performing as well as he possibly can? Well, if that's the case, then trying to embarrass him by throwing him out in a drill and then kicking him out because you knew that was going to happen, that ain't going to get you that goal. And so, and by the way, that's a good thing I probably should have brought up in the damn video, but it's not even like Doc's fault per se. It is exactly just how it had been done. He's been doing it the way we've been doing it for 100 years. And that's the problem is we need to be able to have enough of an intervention to understand that that is not optimal.
So it's not Doc's fault. It's the organization for bringing Doc Rivers in and thinking he'll have a different philosophy. It's not Doc's fault. I've been right this whole time.
I don't know.
That wasn't the pushback. Look at Damo. Look at Damo. I seen the stream. We seen the stream, bro.
Yeah,
that wasn't the pushback, bro.
What's the context of y'all debate? By the way,
it was you folding like a. Never know.
No. Go ahead. Who are you gonna say, Coach? Who are you gonna say? It's not Doc's fault.
The Doc going to Philly was always really weird, right? He gets fired, and was it 2 days later or a day later? He ran to Philly, and they hired him. That was all so quick. I have a feeling Doc did that because he was afraid, at his age, even though he's not even that old. But he might have been afraid, I got to get a job right away, or else I might not get another one. He might have felt that way. I don't know. But that all happened so quickly to me. It was startling. Maybe I'm wrong in remembering it wrong, but that's how it was. And that was just surprising to me that all happened that way. Listen, do I know some things about the team behind the scenes? Yeah. And does it sound great? No. It sounds like it was, not very well organized and not a lot of, institutional control, I suppose would be the word. So, yeah, I mean,
it seems like to me personally from outside in when they got Daryl Morey, it was time after time they were slowly building towards revamping the Rockets, but this time having Joel Embiid. I don't know if it's some mentality that if it was Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard was actually really good. Maybe that's what they believe. I don't know, but that's always the vibe I've gotten from Philly ever since they've realized that their process really was over. But I don't know what's going on with nowadays with y'all debate. So I'm sorry if I'm intervening.
No. Revamping it for what? Because these are rumors, speculations, all that stuff. James Harden was a big push in getting Doc Rivers fired.
Allegedly, correct. Yeah.
And I believe this is his plot and plan to get Mike D'Antoni back in that chair so he can be who he wants to be, have some, resemblance of some Houston offense. And this is a nod to the dysfunction of the organization. Hence, it not being Doc's fault. We just have a dysfunctional organization.
Okay.
I want to ask Omar and Coach this. I'm going to start with Coach. Out of the accountability pie chart for the Philadelphia 76ers between the management, the coaching, and the players, how would you split up those
Blame?
three. Yeah, the blame essentially.
Management, coaching. By the way, I heard this a podcast somebody sent over to me that lit the heck out of the entire organization up, and it was made some really good points. This guy's an NFL guy, but I guess he's a Philly fan. Do you know? I don't know if you guys know. I'll look it up. But anyway, the point being that like I hadn't really even. It's a good question. I to process that, I would have to say, obviously the players deserve a lot of the credit for success, for sure, and probably most of the credit, you know, because again, you have to remember in the NBA, you're not having a 2-hour practice, and you're not going to drill, you know, offense for an hour and then go over defensive rotations, you know, and get sweaty. Like they don't do that anymore. But again, I would say the players get, and then we're talking about specifically Philly, right?
Yeah, Philly, just Philly.
So I would have to say that the players get 40%. I would give Doc 40%, and then probably the culture 20. I don't know.
Series.
Okay. Let's stop there. That's fine. Yeah. Omar, you go ahead and do yours.
And I'm assuming you mean like his entire tenure in Philadelphia.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie.
Sure. Don't say nothing nasty.
I'm giving the organization like good 50. I'm giving the organization like maybe even 60. I might want to bump it up to 60, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Offensive
And
players,
this is
man.
Daryl. This is more you're talking about, right? So like you don't like the way they treat him like assets, and they don't have a culture like other teams have set up.
Well, this is because Daryl Morey just got there last year?
No, 2020.
I think
2020. Yeah. Daryl Morey and Doc joined the same time. Elton,
right, okay,
I want to say, and Brett Brown left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 60, yeah, and it's an asset thing. Cool, fine. Plus, I feel like they're coming in trying to convince them to do something different. However they may go about that. And
So
Philly
60.
is still trying to fight with some old regime. Hence, Joel Embiid, I like to be at the top of the key. But that's okay, cool.
Okay. So whose fault is it that he's playing that way and not the way you think he should be playing?
I think that's Joel. I personally, for me personally, I think that is more Joel, and then ownership trickling it down to management saying, hey, we spent X amount of dollars on this guy, and he is the last piece of this thing that we told our fans, season ticket holders, would work. He is the last remaining thing that we're holding on from this process. And we need to make sure that he's happy. This is a guy who in the offseason, and I know it's just looks. I see him with Jason Tatum a lot doing perimeter stuff. I think he doesn't like to bang down there a lot because he knows, like, you know, my knees and stuff like that. So cool. But he likes to be he thinks he's Jason Tatum. But he's really, he's really 7'1", and he needs to be down there banging. I think that they're playing into Joel Embiid way more than like anything else, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is Brett Brown had the same problem with like Ben Simmons, right? He kept going to the dunker spot, and you know that's not what they're telling him. They know that's not the offense they're designing, and that's what shouldn't be there. It's, by the way, that's a weird spot. Like Aaron Gordon did it, the other night for Denver. It's a spot where I guess you can go to hide if you don't really know what and how you want to do that. You can go over there and just sort of hang out. And it never made sense. How come Brett Brown is not, creating the offense that they need for him to be better? And I think that you're right. I mean, there's no question Embiid has a lot of control in that way that like LeBron has control over the organization that he's been on. And that's tough because listen, you throw the ball to him at the free throw line and he nails that jumper all the time, right? He can get by you and do the drives. I mean, like, is that any worse than like throwing him down low on the block and having him do some stuff and maybe get doubled, which he doesn't handle that well, right? I don't think he passes that well out of double teams.
No, not really.
Probably doesn't want. That's maybe the reason why he doesn't want to do it. So I would love to know exactly what that whole thing is, but it doesn't sound like there's been a lot of control in the locker room. It doesn't sound like Doc had even tried. Or maybe he did and just gave up at whatever point, where there isn't a lot of that voice of a coach in a traditional way being able to shape that. So I guess, right. So your point then it's the players.
So then the other, if we're going to put it at 50, I'm putting the other, I don't want to leave 10% for Doc. 10% is kind of crazy. All right. 50, 20, 20% Doc Rivers, and then like the other 30 is like players doing what they want to do, not being happy in the situation.
This is interesting.
And it's because
I'm gonna let Damo
Damo, before you go, I want to raise this.
I just got one more question before Damo goes.
This specific point. I'm looking at this play right here. It was a play that you highlighted. I'm a Hawks fan. John Collins is not a great defender. He should not be able to.
He was this series. Oh wait, was it this series? This series he was actually, or no? What was the series I'm thinking about?
It wasn't this series because Tobias was giving him problems in this series as well.
Crap. All right, go ahead. This is the conference finals, right? This is the one they got the conference finals.
Yeah, this is the one they got to the conference finals.
I thought he did well, but okay, go ahead.
I see a play develop. Cool. We got some action. Cool. Joel already just reverts to getting at the top. That's fine. He's Jason Tatum, 7'1", big guy.
Ain't that the play though?
That's a play. What I don't understand is the Tobias Harris, and it could be him going to get a rebound, cutting towards the basket when we already know Ben Simmons is going to be in this spot because there's nothing else for him to do. After he's gotten done with the ball, there's nothing else for him to do. Right, he's in this spot. So when Joel goes to turn, he's turning into the man that Tobias Harris brought down there. Now, if Clint Capella contributed to the miss is up for discussion. But there's another play. Hold on. And mind you, the body language we're not talking about the body language. I'm glad that you brought that up as well. The body language is big in this conversation. But I think it's this play. I believe it's this play right here. Got two screens going for Joel Embiid to come off like he's Klay Thompson. This is crazy. It's the most insane thing in the world. We have Tobias Harris, who has John Collins on him. Think he's a competent three-point shooter. They've got Ben Simmons off the court. It should be pretty free down low for him to do what he needs to do. He has Danilo on him. Now, he does lose the ball. I would think that some of that has to do with all of a sudden John Collins is in his face because Tobias Harris. Listen, I think Tobias Harris
that's
bringing his man. Tobias bringing his man down there, put a little fear in his heart. Now, should Joel have some fear in his heart? No. But you lose that ball because Tobias, for whatever reason, brought his man down there.
I'm gonna say those two plays are near the end of the
synergy,
game.
Though.
I think those two plays at the end of the game, and both times you would think for a split second, if you're Tobias Harris, granted he might have messed up twice, that he could shoot the ball, especially that one at the top key. Like he literally head faked it. So maybe Tobias thought he was going up twice because I sincerely doubt that the players on the court had a 4 and the other play a 5 baseline play where everyone is quite literally horizontal on the baseline. I don't think that was designed. I think they were crashing, but that's just my opinion.
That's it. I mean, listen, those are all fabulous points. And again, by the time you get to a game 7 of the second round of the playoffs, you would think that the influence of the coach would be such that those mistakes wouldn't be made. They know how to read. They know spacing. They understand that. And yet, it kept happening. So, I mean, this isn't – I don't know if this is an argument that – I'm not going to try and convince you. I don't know if we're going to win an argument on this one. I think there's just a lot of variables here. But I do think that, and I left out a couple of these game 7s, you kept looking at them and you kept seeing these meltdowns and you kept seeing bad spacing and bad movement and horrible turnovers that shouldn't be happening because they can spin. At some point you got to the buck stops somewhere, right? And if it's not the coach after enough times, and Doc Rivers has so many game 7 losses. My buddy Ben is here. He's walking in. He's actually a basketball coach too. I'm going to let him in. Maybe he'll jump on with us if you don't mind.
Bring him in.
Bring him in.
Shout out to Ben.
Yo, Damo. Okay, so while he does that,
look at Dom.
Okay, so I'm pretty caught up. I'll be brief. So basically, Omar's basically like, it's not all Doc's fault. Damo, I assume you're like, what are you talking about? It's the players, and so is your neutral, I assume? Or are you
pretty neutral. Pretty neutral.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sat for a whole hour watching Omar break down a 20-minute video from Coach Nick, by the way. I don't know how you stretch a 19-minute video into 56 minutes, Omar. I watched him stretch a 19-minute video to 56 minutes, and not once in this video did I hear him say anything about, yeah, man, you got to look at the front office and the organization for why these things is going on. All I heard was, nah, you can't blame – how are you going to blame Doc for James Harden tripping? Nah, how you going to blame Doc for Ricky Davis missing a layup?
Damo, 80% of it was is this Doc's fault? Is this Doc? And then when Coach Nick entered the building, I ain't gonna lie, the bubble. Yeah, this is a lot of Doc. This is a lot of Doc.
I will maintain because if I remember correctly, hey Ben, if I remember correctly, Montrez was getting washed, and I was a Montrez guy. Montrez was just he did not belong in the NBA at that point. So Doc
can always do that. The guy who played well one game against him, and he makes sure to trade for him.
Didn't he do someone like Paul Reed too, or something like that?
I had a whole interview with a beat writer for like it was like 10 minutes long, and I just cut it because the whole damn video was so long. But that was also where we got into a lot of that stuff too. There is a lot of the technical coaching stuff that really was the problem. Like, Montrezl Harrell for sure. By why was he ever in game 7? By game 2, you would have known he can't get on the floor. Paul Reed is a guy this year who was doing well. They were kind of grooming him to be in that role. And then, they completely go away from him and they have nothing to offer when MB goes to the bench. So, you're right. Like I could have gotten in the weeds on that too, and made probably a better argument, it sounds like, than I did on the rest of it.
But okay, so when Montrez, and see, this is front office. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this may have been the year when Montrez was on the team. That's when Doc was also doing double duty.
Yeah.
And so that's a front office issue. We've got to lay off Doc.
There's no way you sat there and watched Doc coach the Magic and you sit there, oh man, Tracy McGrady's a bad playmaker. I wonder why he's in a situation to make a playmaking play when we need it. There's no way you watch Doc coach the Magic and you see one guy helping off when he doesn't need the help off, and you see the same Doc coach the Celtics and a player does the same thing, and the same Doc coaches the Clippers and you see a player do the same thing on defense, and the same Doc is coaching 2 iterations of the Sixers, and then on the defensive end, they're making the same mistakes they've been making for over a decade, and you're going to sit here and tell me, nah, it's the front office and the players in every situation. Like, no, Doc is clearly making mistakes. Doc is clearly having his faults, and it's been evident for as long as we've been alive at this point. It's looking like I don't understand. As long as Eli's been alive, I'm sorry. I don't understand how we're even having. I don't even understand how you're having this stance on. Oh man, Ricky Davis is on the court, man. How we blaming Doc? Like,
So this is my assumption, and maybe both coaches can clear this up. I am under the assumption, because we talked about that finals thing where KG messed up. I'm under the assumption that when we have veteran players definitely need less coaching. And so some of these mistakes, some of these mishaps, some of these things are just veteran players folding under pressure, making, mistakes, whatever the case may be. Because I didn't think that Doc needed to tell KG, hey, don't stand in no man's land. At least pick somebody up. Or Rondo, you don't need to be in a situation where you're trying to force your way to guard Pau Gasol. Get over to Derek Fisher, buddy. You're gonna be out of the way. But and I think Doc gets teams with a lot of veterans. He has smart point guards on his team. I think that's like a staple of his more recent team. But so I thought that was, not a coaching issue. It's just, hey, veteran players either are going to step up when they need to, or they're going to fall. And it's because they don't need as much coaching. That could be a bad judgment call by me, though.
But if you look at James Harden's shots in Game 7, they were all makeable shots. Those are all good shots for Harden. He didn't make them. So how much of that is on Harden? How much of that is on Doc?
100% on Harden. Okay.
No, well, here's the thing. In the modern game, we understand how we rely on the 3-point shot, right? Mm-hmm. And we also understand now how important the mental aspect is to shooting the basketball, right? And that's why I hope we're gonna go away from like the Izzos and all those kind of coaches, the Bobby Knight style, because when you treat your play, and Ben can really attest to this, when you treat your players that way in a game, we know chemically how the brain reacts to anger and disgust. And some players, and I could do this, was like, oh, I need that kind of coaching, or I can thrive in that kind of coaching. But when we're talking about shooting and the need to be rhythmic and relaxed to be able to make a three, you can't shoot harder. You could see it in the Sixers. They weren't going to make. They went 3 for 21 or whatever in that second half. Once it started to fall apart, and that would have been where you could take a timeout or do something to be able to help your team mentally recover and get back to equilibrium, because it was still a close game. That was the thing. So I could feel it through the TV. If you want to call it, kumbaya and new age stuff or whatever, all I can tell you is that when you get into a positive frame of mind, and we're talking about shooting specifically, it is so powerful how much better you can be, especially when you're talking about distance from 25 feet away. Especially when the game starts to slip out of your hands and you need to start making threes. Look at this. I can't believe this reaction. That is a huge thing. And that's why BBall's, part of the thing we see now in the modern game is we don't see these kind of blowouts. It used to be back in the day when I was younger, a home team would go on a run in like the end of the second quarter, and that was it. The blowout was on and the team would just fold, right? Now with the three-point shot, we don't see that as much. We have wild runs. The teams stay in the games. But Doc's teams don't. And they still do the old.
That's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
Let me say this.
Let me watch the blowouts, and you know what I mean. They never compete. They can't stay with it hard enough. Look at the freaking Lakers. If you don't, they have to be like buried 6 feet under before they're going to lose. They will stay in it and they will stick to it until the very bitter end, because they are tough like that. And that's what Darvin Ham can do for you.
I was just about to ask you that. So you think that is a plus for Darvin Ham, or is that like, hey, we have LeBron James on our team, so we're gonna be geared up?
No, it's a plus for Darvin Ham. He makes an
that's
adjustment.
him. That's him.
Ham will make an adjustment, whether it's late, whether it's missed, whether it's 2 games too late. A series, regardless, he'll make an adjustment. He'll make an adjustment. Now, I will say, I've been pro Darvin Ham's a terrorist because he lacks the ability to constantly make adjustments, or he'll lack the knowledge to have certain lineups in when we're supposed to have them in. But compared to Doc Rivers, yeah, Darvin Ham is a savant of basketball when it comes to making adjustments.
Well, we're going to find out in about 20 minutes because...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We are. Oh, God, can't handle that.
Right? He kept the starting line that looked so good against the Warriors and didn't really say, well, how would that match? I don't know if he did or not. I think he wanted continuity, but there's no way he could. You should have been able to see that. You're going to putting Austin Reeves on MPJ was going to be what we saw. And then he kept it there. The third quarter they started. So Darvin Ham has some accountability here. He better come tonight with a better game plan, because that could have cost him the game. Why they started the same 5 in the third quarter, I have no idea. And by the way, Doc does the same thing too. I'm looking at what video am I doing right now? Whatever video I'm doing right now, the same idea. They didn't. It was Mazzulla. Didn't make an adjustment of this personnel either in that third quarter when they got destroyed. And why is Mazzulla funny? Did I say it wrong?
I'm a Celtics fan. I'm a Celtics fan.
He's a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
He's hurting right now. After
I'm
that,
hurting a little bit.
Can I ask? And this is for everybody. Wouldn't it make sense to think after? And I want to bring it back to the plays that you brought up, Omar, that you referenced against the Hawks. Wouldn't it make sense to think that if Tobias Harris is a competent shooter, we know he's a competent shooter, you have one play where you have a guy like Clint Capella, who's seen as the rim protector for the Hawks. If he's on you, realistically, it will make sense to pull him out, step away, ready for a 3, correct? But if you have a guy like that who decides on 2 individual plays, and that's just those 2 plays, who knows how many times it's happened all the game, I'm going to dive directly to the basket without my hands up expecting a pass to get in the same position to get a rebound. Wouldn't that scream to you maybe that is coming from the sideline, and that's a game plan, that's a scheme, that is a coaching suggestion that we want to gain rebound, we want to attack the boards or whatever it is? Wouldn't that make sense?
Does anybody and again, maybe I just have way too much faith in these players and their ability to know basketball. Right. Tobias
Clearly
Harris,
not.
Tobias Harris throws it in, to Joel Embiid, and Danilo Gallinari's got him locked up real good.
Mm-hmm.
If Tobias Harris can't understand not to dive right underneath the basket, Tobias Harris doesn't need to be in the NBA. And I felt the same way when that same stretch that Coach Nick was talking about, where they just start jacking up threes in Game 7 the other night. I'm saying to myself, because I watched that and I was like, yo, these are all early shot clock. These are all extremely early shot clock when they're jacking threes. James Harden, if you can't Stop passing the ball to these people so they take threes. You don't deserve to be in the NBA, or you're trying to get Mike D'Antoni hired.
I don't think he played a game 7 trying to get D'Antoni hired. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I don't.
There's
I
no
don't,
proof that he didn't stage.
Well, there is proof that a lot of people had a narrative about Harden, and Harden gambling said narrative for a past his prime run with D'Antoni is crazy. So I don't think he did that.
He likes to be comfortable, Sage. He likes to be really comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm insane.
It's gonna be a past his prime James Harden till his prime James Harden again next year. So
Okay.
There's one thing about coaching I wanted to mention, which is there's so many different domains in which an excellent coach needs to be excellent. You can't be the best at all of them, right? So there's in-game adjustments, there's X's and O's, there's team, the emotion of the team, there's interpersonal relationships. Things like in-game adjustments and X's and O's, those are the easiest things to delegate to someone else. So I made this point to Nick the other day. You have Phil Jackson and you have Tex Winter running the triangle. I mean, Phil Jackson obviously knows the triangle, but Tex Winter's the inventor of it, the creator of it, and he's running it. So for me, somebody who gets the interpersonal relationship stuff, that's what you need the most in a head coach. Being able to help players in all kinds of different emotional situations, interact with themselves and with each other. As long as you understand, hey, I'm not so good at in-game adjustments, or I'm not so good at X's and O's. But a lot of times, I think coaches don't recognize what they're not good at, or they're hesitant to delegate things they're not good at because they're insecure. So you want someone who's aware enough and secure enough to delegate what they're not good at. And just for the comments, I didn't know until 30 seconds ago I was going to sit down in front of a camera. So I've been wearing this.
Rock this shirt.
It's cool.
Let me ask both of y'all this then, because I understand that's what having like an established coaching staff looks like. It's no longer back in the 80s where there was a coach and an assistant. It doesn't work anymore. What coaches in the league need to be fired then that currently have jobs? Just based off of you.
Hey, whoa. Darvin Ham. At least they like him, but they didn't like Vogel. That's a concept that I know that hasn't been talked about here, I assume. But simply winning over the locker room, I think, is the reason why a lot of these guys get their jobs and or get fired. Darvin Ham is like the most recent case to mind, and maybe Nick Nurse is the reason why he got packed up, because Nick Nurse is a coach. I truly don't understand why he got fired. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a weird one. I gravitate to the coaches like that who have coached in like weird leagues and have had no talent and really had to learn, how to win with nothing. I like those kind of coaches. And a lot of times coaches will come in who were ex-players and they never had to learn any of that stuff, right? They were always from the get-go, in a situation where they had pros. We're in a situation now. There's 5 or 6 coaches have already been fired, so I don't know who's left. Monty probably got squeezed because of a new owner, I would think. If you're a head coach and there's a new GM who gets hired, you better start looking for a new job. Just like when you have an assistant coach who's already been a head coach. So that was part of it. Although Monty kind of, I don't know if Monty is as great of a coach as maybe his reputation is, honestly. Thibodeau is probably the next guy, right?
Okay, I could agree.
Ooh, that's actually
really
only if they try
it.
Getting rid of Julius Randle first.
Yeah, well, I had said they needed to get rid of him. Remember the first year he broke out with the Knicks was when they should have traded him when he had the most value. You knew that he's a mid-range guy who's going to take terrible shots, and that doesn't come through in the playoffs. And it seems like he's got a cloud over his head wherever he goes, right? Like that Nets character. So you don't want that, especially when you have a coach who won't even smile. I mean, the guy, is such a. We're talking about positive frame of mind, how you can flow state and how you play well. I'm concerned because all you see from Tibbs is just anger and frustration, and I can't believe that's going to be good. Mike Brown, by the way, was surprising to me. I don't think I was very high on him, but the thing he did here, what's hilarious? I was at the practice in 2010 with the Lakers when they got Nash and they had Kobe and Dwight. He was trying to put in the offense, the Princeton offense. He had Eddie Jordan on the staff, and they were doing it. And it totally collapsed. He couldn't get any of it done. He couldn't get the players to buy in, yada, yada, yada. Well, cut to 13 years later, he finally had a team like they actually listened to him, and look what he did. Like that was fantastic.
Greatest offense statistically.
Now it's like I don't even know what to think of him as a coach because he did so well until he, ran into his mentor, or not his mentor, excuse me, ran into his former boss, who I guess pulled a couple strings better than him in that series. Anyway, who else would be on there on this list?
Jason Kidd. I'm waiting for you to say Jason Kidd.
You don't think he needs one more season before he said that?
I think he needs one more roster. I'm not gonna lie.
He's in the same. I feel like J. Kidd's in the same situation that damn. Monty Williams was in before he got fired, where you trade. Well, not even the same situation in terms of front office, but in terms of with the roster, you traded away your depth and you traded away some of your best defensive players to get this star guy, and now you're left with what? Nothing. You're left with two ball dominant players that can score tremendously, but that's it. Now you're left with half a team essentially. Like, I don't think it was fair for J. Kidd. Give him an offseason to kind of build some pieces around Luka and Kyrie. Is Kyrie still on the books, or is he free?
I have no idea. I'm not going to lie, but they have yet to give Luka an elite rim protector. They haven't even tried that, or at least a good rim protector. No offense to his former bigs, but they haven't even tried that. I think you at least try that before you say Kidd can't work.
Dwight Powell, take offense.
I think
Dwight Powell.
Take offense to Dwight Powell.
I think Jason Kidd makes people feel extremely awkward about their role on a team. And their security on a team. Maybe that's what front office told him. That whole thing with Christian Wood at the beginning of the season was kind of crazy. Now I think Christian Woods he feels.
Remind me, what was the thing with him?
Presumed starter, but I think it felt like only like 2 days after they picked him up, it was, hey, this guy's coming off the bench. Don't you worry about none of that. And this was supposed to be, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell in front of him. It seemed like a clear fit, but it just unprovoked. I even think, hey, just don't you guys worry. This guy's coming off the bench. And then he's made some remarks about that throughout the season as well. I also don't necessarily think he's the greatest coach.
No, I agree. But I feel like this year I was watching games and I had to rack my brains to remember exactly why, where I was like, oh, this is better. Like, either he had better assistance with him or more support. Something was different this year because I thought, I have been critical of him everywhere else he went. Something was different. Do you have any feeling for that, Ben, or no?
For Jason Kidd?
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Christian Wood is when they signed JaVale McGee, part of that signing was McGee was guaranteed to start. And so that put Christian Wood on the bench. That's obviously having a 5 who can shoot threes is a great pairing with Luka. I think in terms of who should get fired, I think the flip side of that, who should get hired, the biggest high leverage play out there right now is hiring the best female coach there is, because the best female coach is going to be equal to the best male coach. So why not, be the first team to do that and get yourself a great coach in the process.
So you think Becky should get something? I don't know too much about Becky.
You mean Becky?
I've heard nothing but good things about Becky.
I haven't heard anything bad.
Is there another one?
Hold on.
He wasn't talking about Becky. Wait a minute.
No. He's not talking about Becky, but you're talking about Tara Vanderveer, who was the Phil Jackson of women's college.
See, any of these names people are putting, Dawn Staley, Becky, so you could be a teacher, right, and a high school coach. And they said in the 70s that because of sexism and women weren't hired in a number of jobs, you had a number of great teachers because that was one of the few professions that was open to women. And there's still that same cap on women coaching in the NBA. And so there are a bunch of potentially great NBA coaches out there in this pool that not one person has ever been hired from.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need new blood. I do agree with that.
I agree with that because like Sage was saying, I said it earlier, going from firing Bud to saying at the top of your list, Doc Rivers,
Mike D'Antoni. Yeah, it feels like they're just recycling the same names at this point.
Because with these coaches, you get a little bit of
JJ Redick report about him being actually considered he's one of the top candidates for the Sixers.
He interviewed.
It'd be funny.
Oh, wait, who are we talking about?
JJ
Redick?
Redick for the Sixers. Is that a real report that he's a actual candidate for the
Who did he
Sixers?
interview with Toronto?
I know
interviewed-
he interviewed with Toronto, but they said he was a favorite for the Sixers. But I thought that was fluff. I was like, there's no way.
I think I can explain that one. I think that a lot of times they'll just, as a courtesy, they'll announce it. They'll bring him in to get him into the conversation for something years down the line, whatever, you know. And then Wojnarowski will tweet it out. You know what I mean? It's a nice way of kind of putting him on the radar, right? I don't know if JJ Redick was really, you know, I mean, we'll see. But to me, it felt like that's what that happens, right? You'll see these sometimes for the assistants too, someone you never heard of, but Woj will tweet it out, whatever. And it's all part of that process of like eventually, almost like when you run for president, right? The first time and you lose, you're really doing it for the next time or whatever. But yeah, because I think we're through with hiring former players that don't have any coaching experience as head coaches, right?
Well, I was just gonna ask you
Yeah,
that.
some of
So why
those
bring
balls,
in
though.
why
Steve
the
Nash.
why?
Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna ask. So
No, he
why,
had a little bit of
why
it.
did the
No.
Steve Nash thing happen then? If that's why did the
Favoritism
Steve
from the
Nash thing?
players, and that's why I would think the JJ Redick thing will work. Because if Joel Embiid really has this much power, this much influence in that Philly organization, and if they end up moving off of James Harden because he didn't take his he's not supposed to accept his player option. He wants a longer deal. So if it doesn't work out for them, and they're stuck with whatever Joel wants, if Joe say, "Yo, I really want JJ," JJ is gonna get the job. If they really are listening to him, Harden's not there. JJ is going to get the job, and that'll be the only way a former player is going to be coached, in my opinion, just like Steve Nash with the Nets.
Yeah, because KD wanted Steve Nash, right? That was like the
Facts.
main thing. So
At least that's what was reported. I don't
yeah,
know.
I just feel like with these whole dynamics, we can look back and say that Steve Nash was a bad coach, therefore he deserved to be fired. But it's kind of like it's kind of like if I work at a tech company and I hire a bad software engineer, it's on me for hiring a bad software engineer. But at the end of the day, that bad software engineer is a bad software engineer who's not doing his job properly. So I like this conversation. I don't think it's like a black and white thing. It's either the management or the coach, and that's why I brought up the pie chart, because I feel like everything goes hand in hand. Same thing with the coach and the players. Like a coach can drop a play or set a game plan, but it's also going to be up to the players to execute on that. So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle.
I don't think anybody could have probably done much better than Nash in that situation. I don't think. You know what I mean? That's what happens, and then that's the Philly rap too. When you treat players like assets, and you're not looking at this as a way how personality types and how they fit together. Some teams will look at that to some degree, but we haven't even scratched. We talked about this before, Ben. They haven't scratched the surface of like, let's say who you want to draft based on personality type and what you already have in your locker room, because it's. Do you guys ever see the movie The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh? No, you guys.
I've seen some of it.
The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh was from the 70s. Dr. J is the star. And they put together a team of all Pisces. And when they do that, they end up going to the final. I mean, whatever. But the point is that they thought about it a little bit. They thought about the kind of, or they were trying to think about like the personality traits and how that all fits together versus, too much of an analytical approach. And we're going to keep seeing teams that maybe, defy expectations because of that, especially now with the 3-point shooting, because where other teams are just trying to look at some numbers on a graph, if that means anything. And I love numbers on a graph, by the way. But anyway, I think if you were to put Kyrie and James Harden and Kevin Durant together, I don't know how that outcome.
It's a tough mix.
Whatever. And by the way, probably the same thing with OKC when KD and Russ and Harden were there together too. That probably. and by the way, how unfortunate, right? That team would have won 5 championships together with Serge Ibaka. So, but you can't ignore it. The people are who they are when they come out of that. When they come out, Oh, by the way, that also, is another rant for the coaching thing is you have these coaches who think that they can teach players to be tougher, right, or play harder. And it's like I don't know. I don't. Are you really going to change someone's complete mental makeup like that? I don't know. I think you're just going to be screaming and yelling at guys for a lot and be frustrated.
Especially when that same player, even if it was working, can go on Twitter and then see hundreds of thousands of people justifying their actions. And now they're like, no, actually, you're wrong. So social media definitely has an influence on that as well, in my personal opinion.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't know if you guys played or not. Like, do you think that Draymond Green became tough because a coach taught him to be tough in high school?
I think
No.
I think Draymond was Draymond, and a coach saw that and emphasized, just be Draymond 24/7, 365. Like, a lot of these players do need to take it down sometimes, but I think in terms of the Warriors, they were like, oh yeah, nah, chains off, go ahead.
But if you ask folks, Sage, and
Steve
that's
Kerr,
why he's
right.
in conversations again. If you ask folks, Mark Jackson was the one who made Draymond, the dog he is today.
Right.
And so that's why he's back in the yeah.
They said the same thing
Who's
about.
They be saying that. They be saying that.
I've heard they say they unlocked Steph. Like, I've heard,
they
I've
give
heard
I don't know
that
about Draymond.
conversation. Yeah, I've never heard. Oh yeah, Mark Jackson put that battery in his back.
I've heard.
Wasn't it
I've
Steve
heard he
Kerr
was
that gets a lot
responsible
of that
for the
credit?
I've heard
Well, for plugging him in, he gets the credit for actually plugging him in and being like, you know what, we should start him and bring Iggy off the bench, veteran leadership. type
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
He gets that credit, but I don't know if he got I don't even think Steve Kerr gets the credit for giving him that dog. I've always heard Draymond's just been a dog. Back when he was in Michigan playing football and basketball, he was a dog. That was the
okay.
main
All
thing
right, yeah,
about
we
him.
agree.
I'm not even, if someone wants to give Izzo credit, like, no, I can guarantee you that's how Draymond is. And we have a lot of coaches at that, especially at the high school level, who think, oh, I'm going to teach a kid to be like that, even though they're not predisposed to be that way. I just think that those coaches are going to be frustrated and spend a lot of time, screaming and yelling and doing stuff when that's not the most effective use of their time. And I also rail against that because I did that. I was that guy. I was exactly the coach that you would have had for all those years, until very recently. So that's why I kind of feel strongly about it, is because I've seen how detrimental it can be. Even though Izzo has won a lot of games, and all those kind of guys have won a lot of games, it's still ultimately isn't the most optimal way to coach. It's interesting how we got to this point from where we're talking about. It must be my fault. But
we were talking like coaching carousel or something.
Mark Jackson should not be on that coaching carousel. I can tell you that right now.
I think he's interviewed.
He is,
He interviewed
unfortunately.
somewhere.
I do agree with you.
This is year 10 of this team should look into Mark
hire
Jackson,
this commentator, Mark
But I think
Jackson.
this is the first time. Is this the first time he's actually?
Man. Yeah, not too much. He was a coach.
I know before he wasn't. I know before he kept reiterating like he wasn't interested in coaching. Is this like one of the first years he's actually interviewed for jobs?
I think he got interviewed before.
Pop up every now and then a little bit, but yeah, I mean, listen, the stories that came out were so terrible as far as what even the dedication he had, to the Warriors. I don't think anyone would do. I think maybe they would bring him in as a courtesy. We'll interview, whatever, but I don't think they would seriously consider hiring him. But we'll see. Maybe guys can change, but. I mean, I don't want to make this even political, but there are some ideologies that he has that certainly aren't compatible where he was coaching before.
That is true.
And that just it doesn't sound like the league would tolerate that to some degree. So religious wise or not, like if that's your religion, that's what you want to believe. It just feels like that is problematic. I don't even want to get into what we're talking about. I think you guys know. Right. But at any rate, it's kind of I suppose for me.
It was
They might like him in Dallas. I don't know.
No, it was Milwaukee that interviewed him. Which
Milwaukee? Oh yeah, he wouldn't fit there either. That's crazy.
Nah, not at all.
This was May 14th.
Yeah, like Kenny Atkinson, I would be surprised if he doesn't get a job out of all these.
Mm-hmm. So do you think Frank Vogel goes somewhere?
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Yeah, he deserves another shot at the very least. Doesn't he?
Come back to the Lakers.
No, nobody cares about. So
yes. Okay, go ahead.
Nobody cares about Frank Vogel.
Okay.
I do want to ask this, and I know you said you had somewhere to be. Say it again.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just talking to Ben about my air conditioning's off. It's hot in here. The game's going to start in a few minutes, but we'll hang out for another couple. Is that okay?
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm like I said, I'm a Hawks fan, and this is what I want to establish here.
I want to talk about that heliocentric shit again.
No. Listen, because it's a concept. It's a concept more than anything. I feel like no matter how many coaches get replaced in Atlanta, although I don't think Lloyd Pierce was it. Same thing with Nate McMillan. No matter how many coaches you try, if the organization doesn't get a grip, and I believe it's Trae Young, not let the superstar override a lot of these decisions and run the show, then they won't see much success. So my question is, how much play do you think that superstar and front office have in as far as influencing what a coach does, as far as scheme and, you know, culture and everything like that?
You know, they don't have a lot, I don't think, ultimately. You're talking about front office as influence on the coach and what they're going to run on offense?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a lot, but I do. I mean, listen, I've heard the stories of ownership and front office people going into the office and trying to talk like they do know what they're talking about. Maybe because they saw a video about it that somebody broke down with arrows and freeze frames and slow mo and a really nice voice. And you know, the coaches will then say to me, like, "What the hell is going on? How are they talking about, you know, Spain pick and roll and horns and da da da?" And it's like, it gets, you know. And so I apologize, but the point being that, you know, there is a little bit of separation, but I don't think. I mean, listen, Daryl Morey would probably have them. You got to shoot a lot of threes. Like, there is going to be that influence, but he's not drawing up plays necessarily like that. So that's not necessarily a thing, if that's what you're asking.
I think the bigger problem is not how much influence on what offense or defense you're running does the front office have. It's who are you playing and who's getting minutes.
That's big.
Because at the end of the day, offense and defense isn't as important as who are the players on the court. I think there are a number of teams, maybe even the Warriors with their 2 tracks, right, of the front office influencing, we want these guys to play so they develop, but that's not necessarily going to translate into winning basketball.
Let me throw this out. This is a parallel conversation. Picture the greatest basketball player of all time in the NBA having free reign in offense for his entire career, and then almost overnight accepting running an offense that had been developed 35, 40 years before that and rooted in like 50 years before that, and actually molding himself into part of a team. Now, imagine that happening now, right? Imagining, you know, Embiid like running like the triangle offense or whatever. And the point being that, like, Phil Jackson is a great example of a guy who, you know, had to learn how to get a star player to actually buy in and do the things that we all assume now are not possible, right? We assume that, you know, well, what could Doc do? He's got, you know, Harden in there already. He's got Embiid, and they're doing whatever they want to do. That's what I've kind of heard. All right, so I've heard that sort of indirectly, directly, is that there wasn't a lot of, you know, the offense was whatever they wanted to do. Meanwhile, there is a blueprint, and they were able to make that happen in a fascinating way. So it's possible. I think it is possible. Now, like Trevor Ariza, I remember I was talking to him once. And they asked him who, and he's had, you know, 10 NBA coaches, been on a lot of teams. Who was your favorite coach? He said Phil Jackson. Why? He goes, because he gave me the most freedom on offense. I almost fell off the chair when he told me that. Trevor Ariza thought that he had the most freedom on offense playing for Phil Jackson on those teams, if you can remember those teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The genius of Phil was that he convinced him he had the most freedom. He couldn't do anything he wanted he couldn't do at all. But
he would have power in the post.
He communicated in a way. He made him think that. I don't know how, but that's what you have to do as a coach. Yeah. If you can do that, then you can coach anybody, and you can find success in most situations, even with the one like in Brooklyn, probably too.
Can I ask a question? Super not Hawks related. We seen in this draft lottery, the San Antonio Spurs got the first pick, like a certain someone said they would.
It's a lottery.
regardless, I did say the Spurs are getting number 1 pick to pick Wemby. But this isn't about Wemby. Everybody's talking about Wemby. That's whatever. Do you see it as a problem that a team like, and now with the reports of them not being high on Brandon Miller, but before, a team like Charlotte or Portland potentially, if they can't trade their pick, do you see it as a problem that they would ignore a guy like Scoot Henderson because they have a LaMelo Ball, Damian Lillard? Or are you a guy that believes draft best talent that's available, or you believe draft for fit no matter where you're at?
That was my next question, Tomo.
Retweet, actually. We are on the same page. I was thinking we got asked that.
That's a really good question. Are you asking me, by the way?
Yeah, you and me.
Anyway, yeah, man. I don't know anymore. I used to. I mean, the prevailing wisdom was always you get the best player no matter what, right? So it's certainly at the top. And the problem with that is you get like a guy like Ayton. Now, I like DeAndre Ayton, and he's gotten to be good. but he shouldn't be in the modern NBA the number one pick in the draft. That's a number one pick in the draft from like 25 years ago. You should be able to draft the DeAndre Ayton 10th or 11th. A big guy doesn't shoot threes, doesn't handle the ball. You want a 6'9" guy or 6'8" guy who can play defense and shoot threes. That should be the number one. So in that respect, it's maybe less fit because we have positionless basketball now anyway. But I guess maybe my answer would only be I want to find a guy that's more like Kevin Durant than I would find any other else. I want to find that guy, long, like Mikal Bridges. I want to find guys who can shoot threes and freaking play defense really well, and then hopefully drive a little bit too. That'd be a plus.
Okay.
So this isn't like a trap card set or anything like that, but essentially you're kind of asking for like a switchable wing or anything like that. So like, is it the fact it is what it is? Is it the fact that like Scoot Henderson's archetype, is he just like 6'3", 6'4", like not, I don't want to say redraftable, but like, is it because you can kind of get that a lot necessarily, or later in the draft? Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you want to pay, $150 million to a center, or do you want to pay $50 million and get like 75% of that production? Right. And maybe that guy will be a better locker room guy. It's like that's how you start getting into the analytics of it, and like, okay, what can we get and what kind of value we can get, from that kind of player. But there's no question that the premium placed on certain kind of players doesn't seem they haven't figured it out yet. Although now I got to look at Luka was he wasn't number one, was he?
No, he was 3.
No, he was 3.
I got to look at number ones now. They're still not doing it right. They're still not picking number ones properly. They're not picking the Lukas. They're not picking the that kind of guy. And it's just mind-boggling to me because that's what everybody wants. You want Paul George, you want Kawhi Leonard. Obviously, you want guys who are not going to be injured, but you want that archetype. That's the guy. And I can't believe that we're still seeing other players pick that high when they didn't have to or it shouldn't be.
Well, I feel like the reason that is because the guys like the Paul Georges and the Kawhi Leonards, those guys aren't. That's not a clear-cut guy coming out of college. A Kawhi and a Paul George, those are guys that are seen as defensive guys with offensive potential, and they maximize it once they get to the league after years of development. With Paul George, it was just he came in, he was behind Danny Granger. Danny went out, and he was able to show that he was able to grow into that kind of player. Boom, Kawhi Leonard in the Spurs system, develop. Pop told him, hey, we're going to sit you down and watch this Kobe film. Now he's taking all the Kobe shots. So when it comes to – well, go ahead.
100%. Although we can see it in the the guy from last year who won the Rookie of the Year,
Paolo.
Paolo. Okay, he was number one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so forgive me for throwing shade then, because that's a great example. Paolo Banchero was the guy, and I saw him in college too. I'm like, this is what you want. Like, this is the Luka archetype. This is the LeBron archetype. And thank God, like they got that one right. I suspect it's still far and few between. Maybe going forward, like Wembanyama, for instance, is not one of those other kind of guys, and that one you got to do. But yeah, I hope that we're going to move into that, because I think what we're going to see in 10 years is that you're going to have 5 players who are all 40% 3-point shooters, and they're all 6'8". I think that's going to be
with guard-like skills. Yeah, that was my vision of the NBA. Like I kind of saw that like 2 or 3 years ago. Everyone is going to be as tall as possible and as guard-like as possible.
Yeah, I had to go through watching doc footage from 2000, man. You wouldn't believe how torturous that was. And again, that was as good as it got. That he was coaching and running the offense the way everybody ran stuff, and it was like I couldn't believe what I was watching, and I couldn't believe the level, some of the skill level even then. I know we talk about the plumbers and everything that Jordan played against, which I think is ridiculous. But you had so many players that didn't have varied skills then either. It was crazy. So, but think about that in 20 years from now, we're probably going to maybe say the same thing about what's going on today. And so I'm anxious to see that, but I also wonder if I'll even like it.
Well, building on that question, though, I did put out a tweet today asking, and I would like to get your answer on it. Do you think we'll ever get a number 1 overall pick that's below 6'4"? The last one people brought up was Anthony Edwards, but I'm more so thinking of like, the Kyrie Irving, Trae Young type of like guard. Is that ever going to be a number 1 overall pick in the near future, in the next 10 to 15? Because I'm being honest, unless like, to me, the preference now is like a Victor Wembanyama type of player with like a Chet Holmgren and that 6'10" dude that's projected to be number 1 next year apparently, or it's gonna be like what you said, the Jason Tatum type of player, Paul George,
because everyone always feel like they can get that guy. There's a lot of those guys. You can get some version of that guy lower. You know what I mean? And so they wouldn't. So yeah, I would probably feel pretty confident saying that no, we're not going to see. I mean, I try to picture how good that 6'1" dude would have to be, like coming out of college or whatever. I mean,
Curry plus.
Oh my goodness,
Steph Curry.
To be honest, he would have to be. He would have to be.
That dude would have to be
Curry
ridiculous.
plus. He'd have to be.
We seen it already.
Half court range. He'd have to have athletic ability.
I mean, we seen it. His name was Trae Young. That was the closest thing. That's the closest thing we seen as a prospect coming in like Steph Curry. And even he wasn't even projected to be a number 1 pick. Granted, he was still top 10. I don't think he was top 5. No, was Trae Young? He got traded. It was traded
5, but it was a
trade. Oh, he was 5 and 3, and then
Dallas and Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah, but so the closest he got was a number 5 pick. So yeah, I don't think we're going to see it unless they playing Muggsy Bowles defense. That'd be the only way I think that you can see it. If they're giving you tremendous historic offense and they're also stripping the ball, they're able to stand in front of their man and be scrappy. And I ain't gonna lie to you, with how the NBA is going, with the evolution of the NBA, we're not about to see that from those 6'2", 6'3", 6'1" offensive guard.
Yeah, Scoot might even be better than Victor one day, but in terms of drafting number 1, I don't see that.
Yeah. Just drafting.
I think it's
back to the original question. What do you do if you have the 2nd, 3rd, 5th pick?
Mm-hmm.
That's mentioned in the comments. Marvin Bagley was number 2 in that same draft with Trae Young and Luka Doncic.
Yeah, he was.
The thing is, you want productive players.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing you could do, I think, is take that draft pick and trade it for a current productive player in the NBA. One of the best trades that happened this past season was the New York Knicks trading for Josh Hart. Completely underrated player, above average shooter for his position, above average rebounder. Goes to the Knicks. Knicks start playing fantastic. So you want to trade, if you have the 5th pick, why roll the dice on a, 1 in 4 chance of somebody working out, or trade it for the Josh Harts of the world, the Gary Paytons of the world, underrated players who provide winning production.
That's definitely a hot take. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a hot take.
Number 5 pick for Josh Hart is.
I don't know about the 5 pick. I think
interesting.
The premise, though. The premise.
I say like 14, 10.
I'll say 8, 9. Once you get like 8, 9, 10, you could risk giving that guy for a productive role player. But I was thinking in terms of drafting, be the best available or draft for need when you're at that 3, 4, 5 spot. I think it's beneficial to draft for need. If you look at what the Kings did in this past draft, got Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray was not the best available player at 4? He wasn't. Jaden Ivey was still there. There were guys that were there, and instead of taking the best available player, they took the best fit. And if you look, he plugged right into their offense, right into their defense, right into their team, and produced immediately and was one of the better rookies this year.
I think it depends on what your franchise. I mean, obviously, we all agree. It depends on what your franchise is going for. For example, take the Kings and the Hornets, even from last year. Last year, the Kings, they failed, but it was kind of like you fell on your face. You did trade for Sabonis, and it just didn't work. With the Hornets, what's going on? So with the Hornets, what's going on? Like at that point, you just take the best player. I think that's definitely a repeat for this draft. That's why I know a lot of people think the Hornets should take Brandon Miller, for example. But if I'm them and I know Scoot's better than Brandon Miller, I don't watch college, so I'm not even having an opinion. But if I know Scoot's better than Brandon Miller, for example, take Scoot. LaMelo Ball is not going to hinder that. And at that point, we can see in practice on a consistent basis, all right, who is going to be my guy? Because we ain't got nothing going on anyway. But
all right, I got a thought there, man. I'm going to leave it there because the game started. I want to get back to that. But
you're good, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the number 5 pick for the last several drafts. Are you ready? So number 5 pick in 2016, Chris Dunn.
Damn.
Okay.
Chris Dunn over Jaylen Brown, man. I remember those.
Josh Hart.
Darren Fox was the next year in 2017. Okay, so that was a hit. Trae Young next year. Okay, so you know what? I mean, maybe Ben doesn't know what he's talking about. Darius Garland. Okay,
Darius Garland.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, but in all those drafts, you can find
Isaac Okoro.
4 or 5 or 6.
I'll take Josh Hart.
I'll take Josh Hart there.
Yeah,
Jalen Suggs. You know,
I'll take Josh Hart.
Go back farther because they're still young. Although some of those guys we know already, but even go back to 2013, let's just say Alex Len.
I'll take Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
You know,
a Josh Hart type.
Dante Exum.
Josh Hart.
I'll take Josh Hart.
Let me go back to 20, whatever. I was going to do it in 2008. Kevin Love. Oh, wow. Kevin Love was
I'll
good.
take Kevin Love.
Ooh, yeah.
So
I'll take Kevin Love still. It's like, nah.
it's probably a 1 in 4 chance or whatever of hitting that, and versus a guy that that's got 4 years in the league, and you can already project what you're going to get from him at the minimum. So it is interesting. But if you do get that Kevin Love, or that De'Aaron Fox, I suppose, then that's good too.
I'll leave you guys with one thing: the most underrated player out there.
Well, that chair's broken.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
I'm not set up for 2 men.
If I had the 4 or 5 or 6 pick that I would be looking at,
Mm-hmm.
Clark with Memphis.
Yeah,
Brandon Clark.
Brandon Clark.
That's who the Hawks need to pick up.
yeah, great point.
Oh. We will talk about that later. Trust and believe.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it, and awesome conversation. You should come on. We'll have to come on my show too.
Appreciate you, Coach Nick.
I'm
Coach
not
Nick
with that.
and Ben, everybody.
I could do that.
Yeah, type shit.
Then he got the soundboard.
Y'all have a great night.
Take care,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Keep it real.
Appreciate y'all, man.
I forgot to ask him
Uh-oh.
about if he stamped any more jump shots in his locker room. I forgot to ask him. As one of the only locker room guys to be certified Coach Nick, like jump shot stamped. I meant to ask him, did he stamp any more? But another time, when I go on his platform,
Type shit.
When it's my turn.
when it's my turn,
Got you.
I think we got our questions answered. I ain't gonna lie. He cooked me with the whole organization having influence on the.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all debate was, but I thought you would be the guy to say organization over both, man. You threw me left. I was like, oh wow.
No, it's just niggas. That's my hot take of the week. Niggas is doing too much on Doc. Niggas is doing too much on Doc, man.
It's a smidge, not enough where it's not warranted. I can't ignore 7. I'll sound
Nah, I agree
casual
with you,
now.
Omar.
I can't ignore 7. Oh, I know Souls agree.
Yeah, man.
Let's read some of these
Yeah.
super chats before we get into some debauchery. That's the last time we'll talk
The
about
stream was just funny today, man. That's all. It was just
No, I
funny.
can't stand it. I can't stand it. Listen, man.
Hey, look, the bubble was on Doc though.
Oh man.
Hey, literally, soon as he got done talking, hey, yo, Coach Nick, you can come on whenever. We get to the bubble. Hey, we talk about the bubble. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That might have been Doc's fault.
Yeah, Doc, it,
Yeah. I ain't never seen that.
But it just wasn't timed up right. If the bubble stuff came before he came in the chat, I ain't gonna lie.
Sage.
And I like Montrez.
Sage is
A
Destiny
56-minute stream.
2.0.
Hey, a 56-minute stream. When I tell you for 38 and a half minutes, why are you gonna blame Glenn Davis for setting that screen? You ain't gonna blame Glenn. You gonna blame Doc? It's not Doc's fault. Glenn set the screen. It was that for 38.
How was that Doc's fault? How?
As soon as Coach Nick joins the stream, and he's like, "Yeah, you can come on." As soon as he joins, hey man, he did have heroin. Harold was playing a lot, and I know Blake turned it over, but let's be honest. Let's be
It is
real.
on Doc to rally the troops together at this moment.
That's cap.
What?
Hey, say the reason why what you're saying is cap is because I've stayed
Yo, I ain't gonna
consistent
lie.
on the
Ben
bubble.
Simmons is on the short corner.
The
I don't know who told Ben Simmons to go.
The bubble-
That's what
the
really
bubble
got me,
on
bro.
Doc.
That Ben Simmons shit, bro. Everyone, including you, was like, "Yo, just dunk on Trey." It's all right. Never mind.
Hey, soon as the play come on, soon as the play up. Well, if we're really looking at it, Trae Young was running away. Now that I look at it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. No, for 38 minutes, he blamed Doc one time.
I didn't
In
even
38
talk-
minutes, he
stop,
blamed
stop,
Doc
stop,
one
stop,
time.
stop.
Sage. After Coach Nick came, 5 things was Doc's fault. Hey, that's Doc. That's Doc right there. That's Doc.
Okay.
This can't be true.
Is that Patrick Beverly in the corner? That's got to be Doc. That's got to be Doc's fault.
This can't
Yeah,
be true.
if we want to cap it out, we can cap it out. Listen, man. 1,000 in the building.
Appreciate that.
But 100 likes. That is from the only Big Brother Boma Simp.
What's in $1 for every like? Dang.
Now listen. B Soul said today we're gonna try not to play any music
Let's try it.
So you said what?
Just try it out.
We're gonna try it out. But what I am gonna do is play a clip from a movie that I want us to watch. Kids,
Oh no.
go to bed.
Oh no.
You don't need to be watching this. This is from the critically acclaimed Secret Society. We watched it in the Discord together. Discord exclusive.
Hey, wait, before you play the clip, Sage, you watching Laker game?
I have it on.
Oh, okay. So, you got the game on?
No.
He lied. He looked straight at the game.
That's
Didn't have it on. Now, Omar, you see
I'm not
you don't got
commentating,
the
though.
fucking game on? You see, you don't. Like I said, I'm not capping. These two, let me hit the Shawn Michaels. These two watches the game during the pod.
I haven't even said anything, bro. I'm not commentating, I'm not reacting.
No one said
But that was the
y'all did.
issue. That was the
No,
issue.
that was the issue. But what was said was the main proponents of this, Souls and Dama. I don't think Sage do it. Souls and Dama be watching the game and it just pisses me off.
I turned the game. I turned the.
I mean, I
He talking
I'll be
about
blunt.
I
I'll be
remember
blunt.
that.
I'll
I
be
wrote
watching
that
the
shit
game.
down. I wrote that shit down, and I lied because I definitely am watching the game.
I watched the game less than.
What was the point?
Yeah, I watched the
then?
game less than y'all when we live. I use NBA replay a lot, so I can say I've watched the game. Like, there's been tweets, I've tweeted it, but every now and then.
I've seen
Every
Sage
now and then,
live
yeah.
tweet a game that was over.
Yeah,
And
I do that a lot.
It was, I don't know one time I don't know what the game was, but literally like 2 a.m. I'm watching Sage and I'm like, Sage, this game ended
30 hours ago.
Bruh, I'm like, oh my
hours
god,
ago.
LeBron, bang! And niggas be like, go to sleep. Nah, bro.
Okay, critically acclaimed Tubi movie, Secret Society. Let's check it out. This is the most insane.
Oh god,
Okay.
I'm scared.
All right. I'm with it.
For context, these both are transgender women.
Love you too. Sona.
Pre-op on the bottom half, so they both have their penises.
See, to really understand
In
who
character.
owns that,
Mhm.
you gotta understand
Okay,
where she
I'm
got
gonna
that
say.
shit from.
Troy.
What is this?
Troy. Is that the nigga from Snowfall? No.
That Jermichael Green?
Let me turn my camera off.
You're gonna keep ignoring me in my house.
Why you say it like that?
Let it be quick. Just do it for 3 minutes.
What?
Jared, you're my mom's boyfriend. No,
But you
What
did
is this
it to the
acting?
boyfriend before me.
he raped me.
What?
You sick fuck.
See, I ain't gonna rape you. I'm gonna give you something in return.
What?
Hey, yo!
I'm gonna give you something. It's called a fair exchange.
Is this Ari Spears?
See, I let you and your mom stay in my house because I like both of y'all. Anything you ask me for, I give it to you, right? Buy you clothes, food. I even give you money.
Motherfucker, say, I'm listening. I'm
I've
listening.
asked you for one little.
No, bro, please, no.
Damo, put the headset back on. Put the headset back on, Damo. Put the headset back on.
No.
Put it back on.
No, don't, please, don't. Stop.
Is he hard? Oh my god, no.
Ah!
Damo, stop. Put the headset
They
back.
say what you become as an adult
Stop.
was nurtured as a child. Good. That's or bad.
Okay, that's been.
told me yourself the boy is gay.
Wait, what did he say?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Come here.
Oh!
I ain't gonna lie, when they started painting and bro's head was shaking, I didn't know what I was about to see, man.
Bruh, no cap. No, I ain't gonna lie. Until I seen it was his hand, I was like, please. I seen this. Oh no.
Yo!
Okay.
What the fuck is this movie?
Wait, what did he say though? I didn't hear.
He said you told me your son
you
was
told me
gay.
yourself this nigga was gay. I'm like, whoa.
I ain't gonna lie.
No. He said, "Do that little thing. You did it for the last one. He raped me. It's a fair exchange, nigga.
It's a fair exchange.
For the people that came for just basketball, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I am so.
We had a serious conversation too. It wasn't even on some bullshit.
We was limited to cussing. It was all formal.
I am so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry.
That was bad.
And Black is right. I was in that movie. Listen, that is Secret Society 1. We will be watching that as a collective. Can't wait. Shouts out to Big Brother Bulma Simp, man. That is a substitution for music.
There's no way we go.
We're gonna play that clip again.
Oh, where
no
I
way-
cut it off, it gets crazy. It gets crazy. So.
But there's no way we go from talking basketball for like an hour and 10 with Coach Nick straight to y'all want to see something wild? Like what? What? And there's a second movie?
Yeah, man. They want to watch it Tuesday when I get in the Discord and watch it. So
That was sick.
That
was sick.
Shouts out to Lobie Warsaw for $10. Stop saying the best prospect since Braun. That label has standards. You got to do what Braun did. So if Wemby ain't in the finals in 4 years, he didn't live up to that label. That's not fair.
It's not what a prospect.
Those are two different
That's not what a
conversations, gang.
prospect is.
Damo, you good?
My mind is like hurting after that clip, but go ahead.
He could be a complete bust, but if he has a 70-inch vert, a 12.6 wingspan, and is 9'5", he'd be the best prospect of all time. like no, that's not the same thing.
Somebody donate another 100. I'll pull up another clip from the movie.
Please don't.
Tatum season for 199 says off topic, but Caitlin Clark over low tier NBA guys.
Oh, wow.
Why not mid tier? Pussy.
Why not some of these stars?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
YRB Solo for 199 says we need Snow Measy.
Yo, I was in the space you had before this. Why were you just like pinning white women at the top?
And
Akil. I'm asking.
Come on,
asking.
that's
And
about-
Akil.
Okay,
I know
so
what that's about.
so Akil, I think we're talking about basketball at this point too. We're talking about something serious. And Akil comes in the space and says, "Yo, Mustard, we gotta talk about these snow bunnies that you be talking about in the chat."
Not even
In the chat.
out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. Yo, Mustard, we gotta have a conversation. Yo, what's up with you posting what you're posting in the chat? You know what chat I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. What's up with that? And I'm on mute. I'm like, what the fuck are we? We was just talking about Doc Rivers and bad coaches. And I'm like mid combo. Yo, Mustard, let me talk to you real quick. Yo, Mustard, what's up with this stuff that you posting in the chat? You know what chat I'm talking about in the chat. What's up with that, man? Oh, you mean the white women? Yeah, the snow. Like what? What the hell with the Rivers?
So Akil was like, "You're not appreciating the milk enough."
Oh, he
And
said it wasn't enough.
he said
wow.
he said Mustard wasn't appreciating the milk enough. And so then they talked about somebody, Brixie Hill, somebody. I don't know.
Mhm.
You might know.
I might.
Her name is Brixie Hill. So Dre posts her to the top of the space, and the space starts talking about her. So I click on her page, find out Akil is the only person following this snow bunny. Go to who he's following.
Snow.
That guy is following a bunch of
straight
cars.
snow.
In the slopes.
And it's
Michigan and New
mid-slope.
York. Hey.
No.
Used
Those
to
are
snow. No
those are
problem.
high slopes. I'm talking about Atlanta slopes. Ice, really. So
He's
Not-
in Sweden.
not real snow. Yeah. So
Not real snow, huh?
Not real snow.
I mean
It's
they
crazy.
were, but it was
just flakes for real. All right.
It was
dirty snow.
mid milk. Yeah, it was condensed milk. Sir Darko the third for 499 says Doc Rivers hasn't been out of the second round since 2012. We have to call a spade that's racist. We have to call a spade a spade. He has to take accountability for being a losing coach. That's not racist.
I see it.
Calling a spade
what?
a spade?
A
Spade,
spade,
spade. I see that. Yeah, it's racist. Yeah.
Talking about a black man.
Yeah, that's racist. Oh, y'all don't know.
Spades black?
That's a slur.
What's a spade?
That's a
Oh,
slur.
Bezos.
Oh.
Bezos. Relax.
You know what I mean?
My bad. I
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, Bezos. Relax.
It's a stretch.
Here it is.
Andrew
My
Sullivan.
bad, y'all.
We got him.
And Andrew Sullivan.
Yo, stop.
We got him.
It's all
Andrew
we need is
Sullivan
that.
for 1999 says, "Tell homie in the BLM shirt to throw his fist up."
Yo.
Since he's not here, Bezos, for reparations, we need that fist. Yeah,
Yo, when
crazy.
when he sat down, and I look at my phone, all I see is, yo, they call me racist in the chat. Yo, put on the shirt. Like,
Yo,
and I look at the shirt, I'm like, ain't no fucking way.
I had to turn off my cam, dog.
I had to turn my camera off, bro.
I looked at that. I said, "Nah, I ain't gonna laugh." And then someone in chat said, "Raise the fist." I think it was a super chat. I was like, "Nah."
I see somebody type, yo, damn right, I support it. I was like, ain't no way.
Nah, that was funny as hell. I'm glad he acknowledged it too. It was funny.
Yeah. Andrew Sullivan for 1999 says, "I definitely agree. It's a mix of things, not black and white, but which deserves the most blame out of the players, coaching, and front office? I think we all know it's not 100% blame for one
Yeah,
party."
my hot take is front office, but
For the Sixers front office.
Russell Coates for 199 says, "First time donating. Y'all keep it up. P.S. LeBron the GOAT." I thought he said peas. Mir
just
they
stop right there.
youngin for 15 says, "Talking about my gap last pod was awful. Feelings hurt. I cried a little bit, not gonna lie."
Gab.
imagine he's dead serious.
Who are you?
Who's Gap?
Oh shit, who are you? Darian Saintis for 999 says, "Best male high school basketball player versus most recent WNBA champions."
We got
Wait,
more.
so that's Angel, right?
Yeah, we do got one more.
Oh, God.
No.
W.
Most recent WNBA team.
Oh, WNBA. Yeah, that's how good she is. God damn it. Don't fuck that up. What's it called? I have no idea then. I don't watch WNBA at all. Never seen it.
Darius Williams 499 says, "Is Wemby a disappointment if he's not at least a Hakeem tier talent?"
That's what everybody's
Stop listening
saying.
to
Yeah,
Chris
where did
Broussard,
that?
bro.
Yeah, where did that come? That was Chris.
Broussard.
I'm about to
Chris
say,
Broussard
why
was
is
the
my
one that-
group chat saying that shit too, bro?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Chris Broussard is the idiot that went on national freaking television saying if Victor Wembanyama, Victor Wemby, I'm sorry, I've been on Players' Choice too much. He's the same fucking
Y'all
moron.
can't cuss over there?
No, we
Y'all
cannot.
can't cuss?
He's
Wow,
PC,
I didn't know
man.
that.
It's PC
Wow.
for real. But nah,
I never noticed.
we're not supposed to. If you do, I mean, hey, they'll let it slide, but you're not supposed to. He's the same fucking moron that said he's the same guy that went on
pent
there
up.
and said it is pent up, trust me. Sat there and said, "Oh, if Victor isn't AD, KD, or Hakeem, yeah, he failed that he failed. Basically, he's a failure. He's a bust. Essentially, if he's not those, he said if he is those three guys, if he's just Kevin Durant, if he's just Anthony Davis, if he's just Hakeem, then he's a failure. If you're just top 20 all time,
I don't
Yeah,
even
bro.
believe that. And
Yeah.
I'm on that
I don't-
Yeah, my
expectation shit,
my
man.
my
I
hot
don't
take
think
of the day. I'll just get it out the way now, and it was gonna be mainly for sports, but in general, the media really does control everything. And while that sounds cold, it's because a lot of people then act like they're not controlled by it. And I think this shit is nasty, bro. Like even in just the basketball landscape, the amount of times the media has controlled how people will view somebody because of how like one person in the chair set an expectation for their entire career. It's insane. Like the
And
fact that there's dead ass going to be people that are now like, yeah, you know what? If he's not at least a top 10 all-time player, Victor Wembanyama's a failure. That's gawk of hell. That's gawk
and it's
of
the
hell.
same guys that sit there and don't watch these guys play. I can guarantee you, Chris Broussard hasn't watched 5 fucking Victor Wembanyama games. I
Probably
guarantee
not.
you. I guarantee he's not seen him play 5 times. But that's neither here nor there. Did y'all already do hot takes of the week?
I was just
I
about
threw
to.
mine in there.
I was about to
So-
fire it up. Hot take of the week. Say yours again. Hold on.
Oh, damn. Shut my lip. Like I said, it's gonna sound initially cold, but I think the reason it only sounds cold is because people aren't aware that even themselves, including myself, is controlled by it. Media control is literally everything nowadays. With the evolution of social media, it has somehow arranged the conversations you have. It has somehow arranged like how you view people. And especially in sports media, it controls literally the takes that you have. Like nobody was talking about the damn bubble until somebody went on television and was like, hey, you know what? It's just like the bubble, ain't it? And now everybody talking about the bubble again. Or if you got to get outside of sports, the six-figure nigga shit, right? Like it's just several trends that have ultimately affected real life. And while a lot of times if you log off, shit does die off, there are still people out there that are genuinely alpha on some Tate shit. There's genuinely sneakers out there. There's genuine xenophobic racist when it comes to basketball. Those things actually do exist, and it's kind of fucked up because it's crazy. And maybe I'm late to the party, but it's fucking wild. I've just noticed it for real.
Hot take of the week, Damo.
Yeah, my hot take of the week. This is definitely Twitter related. I'm convinced at least 94.8% of people on Twitter just use Twitter to be upset about something. Like they just use Twitter to cry because they're that bored. I believe this generation is the most bored generation we've ever had. Niggas just cry about anything. Niggas just they live to complain about any and everything. I recently seen in the new Spider-Man movie coming out. I don't know if y'all seen this on y'all timeline. I might have put it in the group chat. No, I didn't. I lied. They have a pregnant Spider-Woman walking around. Black pregnant Spider-Woman. She's one of the variants. She was on the bike. Niggas complained. Oh, what is this message you're trying to send to women that if you're pregnant, you can still do anything? That's crazy. And at first I'm thinking, this is Twitter. This is a troll. I click it. It's not a troll. It is a plethora of people, fury of people. I'm just scrolling. Yeah, they're trying to push this this image of women being strong, so strong that even pregnancy can't hold them back. I'm like, huh? And then, oh, it's not safe. Why would you teach women this ideology that it's safe to put a baby in that condition? Until a black woman pointed out that in the same trailer, white Spider-Man had a baby strapped to his chest. No one had an issue.
I also just don't. I didn't know niggas cared about pregnant women.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, what's the beef with how you were born, my nigga?
Not even that. Cartoon pregnant women.
That actually does shock me as the person on the pod, and I'm not doing the sages hated thing, but as the person on the pod that if any of your criticism is the fact that I watch cartoons, all the shit, for people to get enraged over that, you would think it'd take like an episode of Snowfall or some shit where like they do something like that, right? Like over a Spider-Man movie. Like y'all care about a Spider-Man movie? Wow.
They did the same thing about Velma and Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
kids
what?
Show reenactments, bro.
Like,
Stop.
Just honorable mention. Just throw a little cold one out there. Just real cold one. I checked the comments. I checked the mentions. I checked every fucking thing I could possibly check. No one called JJ Redick a dick sucker when he sat there and repeated what the fuck I said. All you niggas in chat, suck my dick. No one was in there. Oh, JJ got the cape out. Oh, JJ's riding dick better than a porn star. None of that. It was just, I disagree, but I see where JJ's coming from.
I say I seen some people
JJ's making a little bit of sense.
I seen Raquel.
I seen some people say that he tried to sound like a Twitter nigga. I seen
what happened?
You
don't gotta go if it's gonna be a brand wristband, but go ahead, man.
Right, let me not. Raquel religiously, I ain't gonna lie, she said, yeah.
Shouts out to Raquel.
Type shit.
Raquel has some takes where it's like cool, whatever, and then some of the stuff she says is just like, make me a sandwich. God damn, bro.
Oh my god.
Why are you?
Raquel, I ain't never. He blood tripping. I'm not even gonna hide. Blood. Why do you say that?
Nigga wanted to say that on Player's Choice so bad. Hot take of the week, Brian.
If I were to rank the streaming services, I don't even know if this is a hot take. I'm gonna just do it. Netflix, HBO Max,
this nigga's tripping.
Hulu,
yeah, you tripping.
Peacock, and everything else.
You have to cock that low?
Hey, look who's saying that. Hey, that's crazy, ain't it?
First of all, we've been saying no, stop. We've been saying the whatever since you introduced it to the community in Discord. We've been
proceed. Hey, as long as I can proceed.
I don't know about the cock, man. Pause.
First of all, you wouldn't know because you're not in there watching fucking Bel Air with us. Bel Air is on Peacock. Literally, we sit there. Yo, we watching the cock because we got to watch Bel Air. So yes, we have been calling it the cock.
Oh yeah, shit. That was when we were at like 60K. Oh yeah, y'all these niggas don't know. New niggas don't know. Oh yeah. Just take out the Hulu. Like you just gotta add your list. You're crazy. What the fuck? Like
what's the list?
Big Mouth is a Netflix original. While I think Big Mouth is overhated, it's still not that good. A lot of Netflix originals fall under the same category.
I like Netflix originals. But go ahead, man.
Most of them are not that good. Off rip. What I'm thinking. I haven't had HBO, man. I'm ill-equipped to fully answer this, but for example, I think Hulu's better than Netflix. I definitely think Hulu's better.
I'm equipped to answer this, and the answer is HBO Max over it. And honestly, there's a lot of arguments to be made. The fact that you get movies, a lot of the recent movies faster on HBO Max automatically puts it above that shit.
Yeah, I feel like I need to.
Sorry, fuck nigga.
It depends what you like. Honestly, I would say the streaming service definitely depend on what you like, and I like you too, gang. It depends on genuinely what you like and what you like to spend your time doing. For niggas that like movies, especially shit that come out, yeah, HBO Max is the way to go. For niggas that I know niggas who love South Park, niggas will say either HBO Max or Paramount Plus when they drop their specials. It's just worth it, and you get like a bunch of the classic shows and shit like that on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus that shit is definitely underrated in my opinion. What else? The cock is underrated.
Yeah, Peacock is underrated. No, all troll aside.
Amazon Prime is up there too. I forgot to mention.
Nah, fuck them niggas. No one talks about Apple fucking TV. I promise you, I've never heard of
Apple TV.
No one ever talked about Apple TV, and it's for a fucking reason.
I got a free 3-month subscription. I'll try it.
That's why it's ass. That's why it's ass.
It's whack as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
they include with like every AirPods purchase or something.
They do that shit even at there's like a T-Mobile junk too. Like all them phone ones, the ass.
Yeah.
But nah, Peacock is definitely. I said Paramount's most underrated. A lot. Peacock is most underrated because their original shows, them motherfuckers be up there. Like it's hard for me to like find a show on there that's a cock original. It ain't good cock. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's all good
I ain't
cock.
been saying that now. That's you.
It is all good
that's
cock
you.
in my opinion.
I wanna start a new
It's like the
segment.
experience on Netflix right now. The ambiance, you know.
You're just used to the da-dong. That shit. That's all it is. It's nostalgia.
Come on, bro.
I'm chronically online. Come
on, man.
I want to say this. This is a new segment I want to introduce. If you don't have it off the top of your head, that's fine.
Okay.
I got it off the top of my head. I'm not anti insert my race, but so I'll lead by example. I'm not anti-black, but
is this a segment every pod?
Should be.
Oh my god! See that? They're gonna add up over time, bro.
We are going to slowly but surely be seen as raccoons. 100%.
I'm not anti-black. But some of those names don't know what y'all were thinking. Shaquana, LaQuinta, Jadavion, Lastacia. And if you in chat thinking, oh my God, is my name one of those names? Yes. Yes. Because you know who's not thinking about that? Brian.
Hey! Ryan ain't thinking about that shit.
Bobby is not thinking about that.
Travis is okay.
Stacy is cooling right now, right?
David on his phone.
Jessica she's straight. She's doing fine. But
Tiffany's watching TV right now.
Jamasio, you're not good. You're cooked.
But Tangerine Drea is over there stressing.
You're done.
Chardonnay. They're pissed off.
Hey, Mercedes, Lexus.
I didn't want to say no real names. And only because Damo talked about her, I don't want to spin the block. That's a cook name.
Raquel is a cook name.
Stop,
bro! Stop, bro! We're not dumb. We're not dumb, bro. We're not dumb.
No, clip B-Souls out of context.
Oh my God, bro! What?
Well, yeah, out of context.
Out of context.
I don't want to spin the block, but
Them
Come
people-
on, bro.
The woman that we just gasped because Damo said this. That's the name that you're referring to. Nah, we snitching now. Fuck it.
Snitch on him, nigga. He said it. I don't know.
I ain't say.
All right, well, let me go. I got you.
I go next after you.
Here we go.
Y'all ready to hate on Black Coke?
What the fuck?
I mean, I do it once.
I'm ready.
Be black people.
You got it, Double.
You have to be. I'm not anti.
Your own race.
Yeah, your own race.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this nigga right here.
You wanted to go after them.
I'm not anti-white, but all right, nigga. Go ahead, nigga.
Shit that wasn't even race.
Hey, Sanchez about to be upset with me. My fault. Go ahead.
God.
Hey, this Joan cold. This Joan cold. That's why I said I might as well let it fly for one episode. I'm not anti-black, but I damn well anti-niggas. I hate niggas, man. Y'all niggas be blowing the shit out of me, bro. I swear to God, bro. God damn it, bro. Sometimes I just be chilling. Hey, yo, bro, how your day? Oh, Lord, man, leave me alone, nigga. I'm just trying to go to the store, bro. I'm just trying to get some shit, bro. This nigga asked me 50 million type questions, bro. I hate ignorance, bro. And as an ignorant nigga, I hate me. I hate ignorance, bro. Like, ignorance be blowing the shit out of me, bro. Like, if I'm just, I'll never forget when I realized that I don't like girls that can get their voice to a certain level. It was nacho day. We waiting in line. And I see this girl sit down with her plate, and she just like, oh my God, like the most stereotypical shit for 5 minutes. These nachos, oh my God, these nachos, oh my God, oh my, I'm like, I almost said slur just now. Like I was like, yo, Tiffany ain't doing that. Lexi ain't doing that.
God.
But it's your ass. Like, shut up, bro. Like, shut you blowing it, bro. Just stop.
Jesus Christ.
I got it.
Still love my black queens, but not those. Hell no. Hate niggas.
I got this. I'm not anti-black, but I am so sick of you niggaboos who take such offense to shit that doesn't even apply to you. And what I mean by that is the niggas that are at Yale and Harvard, and you grew up in a 2-parent household, you grew up listening to Taylor Swift, you grew up in a good suburban life, you grew up pronouncing every word like this. Niggas like that, they get upset if they see a little Slim Jesus on a train talking, and that nigga happens to live in the hood, and they're the first ones on Twitter. I cannot stand when I see people that aren't my color using AAP.
I changed my answer. I was trolling, like the troll one. Fuck it. That actually is. I can't stand.
I can't stand.
All right, that shit's corny. It's corny.
I'm so sick of these white women using African American vernacular. Like
the only thing I get them is I ain't gonna lie. The white Jones with the braids do be looking a little weird.
So you feel like they don't be dragging it? The ones with
yeah.
Because it's always a video, Damo. Well, they have the accent cool. They getting their praise. Oh my gosh, she's invited. I hate the term invited to the cookout. And then they find another video. Oh my gosh.
Omar, listen. I have no issue with the ones who typically talk like that. Ones who talk with African American vernacular, the ones that talk with slang, the ones that talk with the accents. I'm okay with them being upset. But Kimberly from fucking Montana getting upset at some woman from New York, the Asian lady from New York, Kimberly from Montana getting mad at the Asian lady from New York for sounding like a
New Yorker.
A broke New Yorker.
Yeah.
You're over here. No, if you actually listen deeper to it, the African American vernacular she starts to use only comes out when she's talking normally. Why is she always talking like this? Bitch, Kimberly, shut up. All right? Like, what are we?
Her voice. Oh, my bad. Her voice might be a little bit OD. I do understand that, but I don't know that girl. I don't really.
Bro,
I ain't gonna speak too much on it. And side note, chat. When I said I'm not trolling in terms of like just like actual fucking around, I meant every word I said earlier. Let's not get twisted. Like, I hate niggas. Can't stand them.
Let me find that Asian New York girl.
And you know what's crazy? People that has tried to use a clip of her talking normally. It was like, oh look, she's not doing it there. She talked dead ass the same. She just wasn't fucking yelling. And niggas was
she didn't sound the same. She didn't sound too different in the clip that I saw. I want to say But
It's the same clip.
honestly, y'all know me. Y'all know me. I swipe on the bitch, get my opinion in like 2 seconds, and get the fuck out.
It was the one when she was talking about Buddy with the phone, right? Like,
yeah.
Yep, same clip. She dead ass sounded the exact same. She just wasn't yelling. Like, come on, bro. Like, what? Again, she sounds more like a woman sounding like a New Yorker than she did a woman trying to sound black. She sounded like a New Yorker. Like, I don't understand it.
We're about to be off this topic. You know why? I typed in Asian New York.
Oh no.
Asian New York. One of my meets from last week, all the way in New York.
Yeah, so we're done
for prices, and we can get it sorted. Asian is in there, and somehow this woman getting her back blown the fuck out pops up from me typing in Asian New York.
Can you link it?
You know what?
In my defense, hey, Omar.
No. You whispering? Can you link it? It's insane.
That whisper was wild. Omar, the same thing happening to me. The same thing happens on my timeline. I actually tried when you asked me earlier, yo, Damo, we need topics. When you was in the space, whatever. I actively went on my explore page. I went and I would type some shit in. Yeah. Keywords pop up and motherfuckers randomly doing porn to keyword. Why is niggas doing porn to Star Wars on Twitter? I have no idea, but it's there. They got Star Wars in the hashtag, getting her back blown out, wearing a African Zimbabwe outfit for some reason. Nothing to do with Star Wars, but it's in there.
I can't even find what I need to find. It's more porn. Yeah, right. It's more porn. Go ahead, be so.
All right. I'm not anti-Filipino, but I do hate the fact that we have glorified canned food as a country. That should be pissing me off.
I know, right?
I ain't even. That was a lob.
But nah, bro.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I better say I didn't even.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Vienna sausages, spam.
Vienna
sardines,
sausage.
too.
I thought you fucked with.
No, but this is my thing though. I like it,
Spam
but
can't do it.
the more I look at it, like, yo, that says a lot. The fact that we, you know what I'm saying, gassed up these foods.
And
I
Vienna
like it though.
sausage I could do when I'm 4 years old. Eating a Vienna sausage today might piss me off.
I had one recently.
I'm saying the Italians got, you know, their cuisine. Ours is Vienna sausage and spam.
Are you comparing your cuisine to fucking Italians?
Yeah.
It's a bad comparison.
Let me read these, and then I do want to pose
It's cool,
a
though.
question. QPOC for $2 says, "What's up, y'all? Just want to say Lakers in 6."
Hey man, I read through chat that Vando started tonight. I like that adjustment. I'm not even with the put Rui on Jokic thing. Just not AD. It could be Vando too. Just not AD on him. We need AD in the paint. So when he makes that pass, it's not going straight. Like it's obvious. I think even Draymond fucking said it. Not saying Draymond don't know more basketball than I'll forget, but it's crazy.
Adjustment is definitely the word of the year. I ain't gonna lie. There's always an NBA word of the year. Never seen motherfuckers say adjustment. This
NBA
one.
word.
You wanna know why? You wanna know why?
Yeah, true shooting percentage, PR, efficiency.
Gravity.
Gravity.
Gravity's still undefeated. I ain't gonna lie.
Relative to.
Relative to was crazy. Hey,
relative was wild. Relative,
hey,
I give you that.
The first one was context, but add context. But add context. All right, bro. I'm talking without context.
Gravity 1A. You right. Context.
Rim pressure.
Context.
POA. Romer. Yeah.
Romer. Honorable mention. Romer.
Motherfuckers acting like they've always talked like this, bro.
So
crazy.
You made your channel a basketball channel. You just no. Go ahead. What are you gonna say, Damo?
I was gonna ask: is your second channel is that gonna be a basketball channel, Omar? Is that Omar Hoops?
No, I get test streams off over there, and that's where we stream the.
You might as well make it the Omar Hoops basketball channel.
Come on, bro. We need it. We need it.
Chat. He's gonna convert. Don't worry about it.
After today,
be the change you want to see. Come on, bro.
Because after Coach Nick, they gonna be like, "Hey, I'm just saying."
After going on a Coach Nick video with only 8 people watching, breaking down the 19-minute video for an hour, getting Coach Nick to join the stream, and you go back and forth with him, and then getting Coach Nick on the pod and talking basketball for a straight hour, and you bringing up strong points, you're never beating the bro, I'm so sick of basketball. You're never beating those
done.
allegations.
I don't-
Join the
Those
takes.
allegations.
Join the take.
Hey, you was hella
It's
passionate
over.
on 11 a.m. on a Thursday, man. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Hey, man, come on, Omar.
On the
Come on,
second
man.
channel?
Omar and Low. Come on, Omar and Low.
High low.
man.
Come on.
The real high low.
Look at Damo. No. I'm saying
Never mind. You could quit. You could quit.
Yeah. I'm
In
saying
random, in random, let's keep it a bug news. Alex Wordu got a feature from Bow Wow.
He did.
He got
Shout
a
out to
fucking
Wordu.
Bow Wow feature. Shout out to Wordu, man.
He
the
fucking
word, man.
did.
Ja Taylor for
Good
$1
shit,
says the MVPs of this is still in the work.
Brother's choice.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I talked to my brother. I
That's
can't
a
remember what
good
it
one.
was, but he was like, "We can't do any streams together because every idea that you have, you're stealing the name from some other existing thing." So my 2 ideas for a stream was brother to brother, peer to peer, and then let's keep it a brother. And he was like, "Until you come with an original name,
Brother's choice is funny though.
let's keep it a sibling."
Let's keep it still.
Deloading for $2 says John Morant shot FBG duck.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
God.
Oh my
What the
god.
fuck?
Okay.
Why?
Sosa for $3 says, "Say no to the snow. Toilet, no, and then snow."
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm still stuck on the Sosa. Oh my god, I'm such a fan. Fan? Get a job.
Get a job. Get a super job.
Get a
All right.
super job.
Sosa, you said this podcast will find out if you're a father, right?
Yeah, bruh. Holy shit, so much happened. Oh my god. So she's bisexual, and I put it together. She wants me to get her pregnant so she can get a girlfriend and have a baby. I swear to God, I figured that shit out today.
Wait, what? So she wants you to be
You want you to
basically your
donate
sperm donor.
type shit.
You're the
Yeah.
sperm donor.
Exactly. Because she was always talking about, bro, I want you to get me pregnant. I want you to get me pregnant. And then, like, I've just been peeping that she got, like, all these little girlfriends of hers type shit.
Why don't y'all just do a poly?
Well, then she was like, I want to have a threesome and all this other shit. And I was like, all
Was it a
right,
stud?
bet. Huh?
I said, was it a stud that she was trying to introduce, or was it
Nah,
another?
she had
girl?
braids. She had braids.
Okay. I mean, I don't mean she's not.
She had braids. Can't
I'm
be.
about to say, yeah, I don't know if
Huh?
that means she's not a stud, but yeah, okay.
Studs don't have braids. They have
I
feathers.
I know.
I know
braids.
braids.
Studs
I
have
fuck with
hella
studs,
braids.
though. I fuck with studs. I'm just she wasn't
Yeah,
a stud.
Studs don't have braids. Come on, Damo. Think.
Right, come on, doc. No, type shit. But yeah, I pieced all this shit together, bro. I sure like Holmes that motherfucker.
Okay, are you a father? Yes or
No,
no?
say yeah.
Her period
So you're
came.
not okay.
period
So,
came,
so
all
you're
right.
not, but are you gonna donate?
Donate. I ain't fucking Goodwill.
Wait,
Nah.
are you having sex with her raw?
Why
I
not?
mean, yeah.
Yes, I want to say anything that says I mean, bro. Oh, yes, he is.
Why?
I mean, no, it
Why
wasn't
not?
on some like. It's not like. I mean, right? Why not? But it's not like I was on some first time hitting it raw. That's crazy. But once I figured out, she was clean type shit, all the other bullshit, we was good.
But, okay, so the baby just never crossed your
Nah, I
mind.
guess I did pull out. I guess I was wrong.
Yes,
I was
you
drunk. I don't know.
I
Hey,
guess
man.
I did.
I ain't
pull
gonna lie.
out.
I ain't gonna lie.
This nigga's a menace.
If you felt that you didn't pull out and she's not pregnant, hey man, make sure your swimmers are swimming. That's all I'm saying. Make sure.
That is God.
Make sure.
Yeah, I'm about to say that sound like
Yeah. E3 down for $1 says HBO, Hulu, Peacock, Netflix, Prime.
Really, man?
yeah, I definitely
On
think Hulu's
Netflix
over
like
Netflix.
that, man.
I definitely think
It's not
Hulu's over
hating on Netflix. It's the good shows genuinely.
take 'em
They
off.
don't. Yeah, they either take them off or they don't continue them. Like they only continue a handful of good shows. There's so many good shows that deserve second seasons, third seasons that don't get them. I can't put them up there. They have
That
way
one
too many
season,
fucking
though?
shows.
Come on, man.
And that
Okay.
one season with 10 episodes, I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. That shit gets played out after the second watch.
I like
Zion-
the limited series, though.
Nigga, Souls went back on Is Love Blind. You know
This
what?
nigga
Netflix
watched-
is number one
He
again, bro.
watched-
Like, hell no, bro.
This nigga watched from Scratch and now he loves limited series.
Come
Yeah,
on, bro. Come
bruh.
on.
Scratch was amazing. From Scratch was amazing. He watched it one time.
Was.
Netflix has. The
Oh, I
best
don't
series.
even know ball. That
I watched that shit 8 hours straight, bro. Crazy.
Damn.
That shit's fucking good. I ain't gonna lie. From Scratch, hey, like I said, when that nigga bumped his knee,
Everything went down.
Every time nigga bumped his knee and his life was over, nigga. It was a wrap.
Also, my followers got L reading skills, by the way. God.
Oh yeah,
Put that tweet out. What movie? What movie?
Niggas that ass thought you meant I was watching.
Started watching from scratch.
Started watching from scratch. What you watch from scratch? What did you watch from scratch? What happened?
Did you put it in parentheses though?
No, I mean it was capital from scratch. Was in
No,
capital.
capital is no quote.
Hey Omar, because you know a lot of people don't know what parentheses are for. They think the parentheses
for an extra sentence.
I meant quotes. I meant quotes. But yeah. I know. Say it to snapping on. What's it called? Zion for $3 says y'all not finna forget Tubi new wave.
Yes, I am, nigga.
E3 down says for $1. Paramount is 4th, by the way. He's on it. He's truly on this shit. Soul's Dog for $1 says Rui Hachimura is him. Is the Asian community? How do y'all think the Asian community? Never mind. Let me not even ask that.
No, actually.
No, because I think I wanna go ahead and get into this. Is this the right button? Is this the right button? Yeah, this is the right button.
Let's get ready to rumble.
In my opinion, there's only one answer. One of these cartoons must go forever. Regular Show, SpongeBob, the original Teen Titans, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Please answer this question correctly, please.
Go away?
Go away forever.
Forever? You said
Regular
Avatar, Regular Show,
SpongeBob.
Teen Titans OG, and SpongeBob?
Please answer this question correctly.
I piss a lot of people off.
I know my answer's about to be cold as fuck.
Mine's Regular Show. So.
Mine's is gonna be hot because one Regular Show, 2 SpongeBob. One Regular Show, 2 SpongeBob. 2 SpongeBob though.
Man. So mine's gonna be hot.
Last Airbender.
Yeah, I am. Avatar.
What the?
Whoa.
It's not even that it's bad. It's just about how much I like the other shit.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Avatar,
yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say, and that's why I say I know for a fact that shit was gonna be hot. I'm be real with y'all. It's not that it's bad. It's not that I don't like it. I love Avatar. It's cool. Well, I'm not saying love. I don't love Avatar.
Sure. My bad.
It's cool. I like Regular Show. I love. It's just not better than other ones. Like the other ones are just better for me. Like I just like them more. I just like them more.
Can we be real and can we be mature? SpongeBob is the answer. Nothing else is the answer.
It's my 2. I think Regular Show is 1 though. I just don't give a fuck about Mordecai and Rigby like I do, like the characters in SpongeBob. But other than that, it's 2.
Teen Titans, so I never knew how good that nigga is. 7 years old, ain't he?
So my thing is, and when we talk about, because I'm older now, I'm more mature. The Patrick is incompetent jokes just don't hit the same. They honestly didn't back then. They didn't back then, but I think a cartoon with an actual storyline, something that leads to something, that builds to something, that actually makes me care about characters, is more relevant than fucking SpongeBob failing his driving test.
You know what? And that's
shit.
Great.
That's I guess.
I feel like you're answering.
Do you like Ed and Eddie type shit?
I feel like you're answering that question from a sense of like what would an adult enjoy more as an adult watching?
I didn't like SpongeBob as a child.
Oh damn, that's tough.
It was Patrick incompetence.
What were you watching?
Squidward is mean.
The news apparently.
Now with Sage just saying I don't want to say it, but I was watching Ed and Eddie. But
I
was watching the other shows too. I was watching the other shows that had meaning. Ed and Eddie didn't have meaning. And then I'm not saying Ed and Eddie. And then when, specifically because these cartoons came out all at a different time. SpongeBob being the first one. By the time that these came around, I was of an age where I could understand that shit needed story. Like it makes sense when shit has story. And SpongeBob at that time was ass.
Wait, how old were you at this time you're talking?
Let me see when Regular Show came out. When Regular Show debuted.
You were a teenager. We were teenagers. By that time.
2010.
Yeah, we were teenagers. We might have been like
17?
12? All right.
Yo, this nigga. All right. Fuck this nigga be
11, 12. Wait, because I started high school in 2012, And now, so what? 2 years? So yeah, 13. I want to say
Come
13.
on, we have calculators. 14.
I'm about to say, just take your boy.
I was not far off, bro. Stop.
Okay.
All right,
14 when that show started. When Teen Titans started, for sure I was. Where the fuck? 2006. No, before 6, but somewhere in that range. And then Avatar: The Last Airbender was somewhere in that range as well.
Omar was a child looking at SpongeBob, thinking, "Let's talk about the political climate going on in the world."
No, I was just like,
insane.
this shit is really not hitting the joke. And at the time too, like if we're gonna go there, let's go there. The jokes on Cartoon Network were way funnier than the shit that they were just fumbling out on Nickelodeon. I'm sorry.
That is facts. Hey, Cartoon Network was that was my network for cartoons. So
it is what it is, man. Shouts out to the Jews, but I really think. And then we're not talking about later SpongeBob too. Later SpongeBob, nobody wants to talk about that.
Trash. The fall off was crazy. Well, because we got older. Like by the time you get older, you're not watching SpongeBob like that. So the later SpongeBob, you should. I don't think you should be. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't think you should watch it. I don't think it was for you.
It's made for 8-year-olds.
Yeah, you outgrew it.
To be a little bit though, the only show that ended good on that list is Avatar though. Tell you the truth, Teen Titans ended.
You didn't watch regular show.
I did watch regular show.
You think regular show didn't end good?
You think it ended good?
It was cool. Niggas turning into aliens and shit. It was all right, bro. Like what the fuck? Like, but it's cool. It wasn't too outlandish for an outlandish ass show. Teen Titans ended on accident, and then motherfucking
3 times.
Yeah, and then SpongeBob don't have an ending, but Avatar's the only one that ended good. I don't think anybody hates that ending.
That's what makes SpongeBob so fucking garbage.
It's not a story. It's the Adventures of SpongeBob.
Hey, well, the writer's strike coming out, man. They about to end all that shit. I'm convinced. That's just cooked. Niggas about to really be watching YouTube for real.
Damo tweet out, "Oh, this shit is real."
Yeah, that Family Guy, if that Family Guy shit is even semi like real.
What's the Family Guy shit?
That Seth MacFarlane walked away from fucking Family Guy. Like he's done because the writer's strike. He walked away from Family Guy, which people were like, "Oh, this is misleading" or something like that. It's not all the way true or some shit like that. Even if it's semi-true, even if niggas decided to take a back seat because the writer's strike, even if that nigga decided to delegate because the writer's strike.
Nigga, I typed in SE. It just says Seth MacFarlane quits. Oh,
wow.
real.
Look, he said until the it depends on who you look at. Until writer strike is over.
I'm not gonna lie though, if there's one thing Elon has done well on Twitter, the community notes thing, I am a fan of. I ain't gonna lie. Like the Daily Louds of the world getting exposed daily is mad.
Oh
funny.
yeah, the 4 concepts.
Out loud.
Out loud. The Say Cheese. I don't think they be on Say Cheese like that, but like, you know, those platforms.
I be on you like that.
I'm watching the game. Fuck you.
We shouldn't. Yeah, we should. I think we're doing a whole power. We go without saying no homo. Want to talk about parasocial relationships a little bit. I know Cruz has a whole topics chat out there. Not going through it. Just not.
No,
okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cruz.
Yeah, shouts out to Cruz, man.
Overtime.
We got to get a new guy in. What? No, parasocial relationships. This is something from the topic show. Friend of the show, even though he's never been on the show, Jamie Foxx. There were those news, because speaking of Daily Loud, that said, you know, he's not doing well. The family is preparing for the worst, blah, 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 blah. His daughter comes out and says, these guys are fucking wrong. Like, these guys are fucking clowns. My father's fine. And in fact, he was playing pickleball the other day. So then you get a comment like this. So Jamie can be outside playing pickleball, but can't show his face on any kind of social media platform with how much outcry has been going on for his health.
Jesus Christ. You tried to cancel bro for, you know what?
I mean, I was just finna die last month. I ain't have shit else to do but be on my phone. Still kind of weird to me.
What? You was about to die and you said must tweet? Nigga, must breathe. Nigga, live.
And so then this person says, this is the bizarre side of parasocial relationships. We aren't Jamie's family or friends. We don't even know that man. He owes us nothing.
That's a fact.
Open.
At the very minimum, he owes us a movie. Nigga, like that's his job. Doing his job is all he owes us. That's it. And he don't even owe us that for real.
Yeah, he doesn't owe us that, but I do think it's a matter of like it's normal for other celebrities to just like tell people, yo, like tell their fans, yo, like if I know y'all are concerned, but I'm cool, I'm fine. So when you see Jamie not doing it, it's kind of it's kind of weird, but I'm on the same page as y'all though. Like he doesn't owe us that. So
it was hella people that he had say something too. I was surprised we didn't talk about it when it happened. I think Kevin Hart came out and said he's fine. Like not too long ago. I want to say, I could be wrong, but I think it was Kevin Hart. It was like, yeah, Jamie's fine type shit, but not the pickleball thing. Or pickle, whatever the sport is. I didn't hear that one.
Pickleball.
I think it's a thing from this era, and it's amazing. It's amazing, like living through it and growing through it. Twitter and Facebook and whatever other communications, like all of these things were great inventions, right? Great things, very much needed. I wasn't ever a fan of like the paparazzis and the tabloids, but getting to see this person in real time so the media can't spin their narratives about somebody, fantastic invention. Did anybody ever stop and think that it would let people think this way? I don't know if y'all ever really seriously like read comments about like the barbs that the barbs be making.
Are nasty.
Oh my God. They know Nicki Minaj for real. Like, but for real. And like, no joke, for real, they know Nicki Minaj. They know Cardi B. They know Meg Thee Stallion. They know all these people. They know I Show Speed. They know Kai. They know these people. And I think that shit is just so scary that people are actually obsessed like that. We should watch Swarm, because apparently Swarm is about that.
But that's always been a thing though. Again, like I've always said, the internet has just put a magnifying glass on everything, has put a voice on a lot of people that wouldn't have had a voice 15 years ago, and we're just seeing this shit. Like those crazy sports fanatics that have like a whole room of just MJ memorabilia, and
I'm looking at that shit weird now. I'm looking at this shit weird.
But what I'm saying is like those people have always existed. We just don't hear about them because the news ain't gonna spend time on them. So
I was gonna say those crazy sport fans that have like, I don't know, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I was about to say, yep, there you go. I saw that coming.
Like, I don't know. That's just kind of.
Shout out to Joy, man. Shout out to Joy. Yeah, that shit. In hindsight, though, B Souls, that shit is weird. Hearing these stories about if we're talking specifically sports, men sacrificing time to go watch X, Y, and Z sport or whatever. Like, this is your child's 3rd birthday, but the Cowboys game was on. Like, that shit is weird. Doing it for minor league sports, that shit is weird. Women doing it for celebrities and all this. Working in like a Walmart, hearing the way that those women used to talk about Kim Kardashian, that shit was weird.
But what I'm saying is though, I agree with you. It's weird. Like, what does the internet specifically?
I think it's only elevated it because now we have more access, and the stuff that people say, I believe, is crazier. Only because in an era past, somebody only could imagine and guess what, I don't know, Nia Long or Audrey Hepburn used to think based off of a few things. She did a magazine article. Her favorite food is pizza. She likes hot sauce on her sushi, and she likes walks. Cool. I can guess based off of these things. Mm-hmm. But when people are seeing, like, I don't know, Sky Jackson making a video outside doing yoga, and the nigga drops the address as to where she is in that moment. Oh, that's such and such park right behind that big tree. Once you park over here and you get out and you take a right and take a left and then walk a half a mile, it's right there. Or, oh, no. You don't know Sky like I do. You don't know her. To that, because they have more information now, that shit is, it's getting creepier. It's only getting creepier.
No, I agree.
I blame streaming.
I blame streaming.
Streaming, like what we're doing right now, type shit, or
yeah,
like Netflix and.
Nah, I blame I blame niggas' access to the internet. The fact that you
I'm about to say I wouldn't blame streaming.
The fact that motherfuckers have content, like you can find a YouTuber and he's been doing content for 3 years, and you got motherfuckers that are sit there and binge watch 3 years of content, and now you feel like you've lived this nigga's life with him. Like you've been through every major event he or she's had in the last 3 years. You've had every heartbreak, every highlight, all the roller coaster events, everything. You feel like you've been there, and now you've developed this relationship. That should be, hey man, niggas is that way with us. Niggas be in the Discord. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot when that shit was. Not too long ago. Buddy,
There's a lot of shit our community knows about us that I didn't think they would know about.
There's shit our community thinks they know, nigga,
or should have known about.
Yeah.
Just keeping it a buck. So
yeah, niggas can know shit, but it's just like it's at some point it's a combination. The two frustrating things are when either people who think they know you really don't, and then that's its own clusterfuck. But especially when they know too much that they should not know, then that's where things get just straight up weird.
I feel like it depends on the creator though. Like, so I'm sorry, Omar.
No. Because I'm looking at something. That's what's making me.
Well, I feel like it depends on the creator. Because a nigga like me, like out of all four of us, when it comes to what everybody knows, a nigga like me, I know for a fact, out of all four of us, I feel like our community would know the most about me personally because I'm super open. I'm super open about.
We should put it to the test.
We should not. We should not. we high key should.
No. Just like a little quiz. You know when we played How Well Do You Know Your Co-host?
Mm-hmm.
If we make the quiz, okay, I'm about to say we shouldn't be like, what's your fun fact about?
Oh yeah, give us 5 facts about us that you know. I say some wild shit.
Should not do
that nigga Sage wears this.
He live right here.
I tell you what, chat. First person that can guess. First person that can guess each of our favorite foods, I'll send you $200.
I don't even know my favorite food.
I'm about to say that.
Vsauce, that was the scam. Oh my god,
that was the scam.
There was no right answer. I don't.
All right, no, I got you, Omar. First person that can name all 4 of our shoe sizes.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid. I could guess people's shoe sizes without actually knowing.
Whoever said mine is chicken, hey nigga, suck my dick.
I think I know Sage's. I know yours.
I'm pretty sure I know Damo's.
I know Sage's.
I don't know Damo's.
I know Damo's.
We both
it's bigger than mine.
I know Sage's.
Yeah, that shit was fun.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. The Gucci store. Damn, that's her size. Damn. Okay.
Hold on.
Whoa.
14, 11, 9, 10.
Wait,
don't react. Yeah. You gotta say who is 14, who is 11, who is 9, who is 10. You gotta say, but don't react.
What the fuck?
Baby feet.
A 4.
First of all, size 4.
That was the wrong one. No, that was the wrong one. It was a different one.
This one is this is how the format should be.
This is
It's
racist,
not a bad
bro.
parlay.
Hold on, somebody watch these because these might come in actually like close.
I'm looking. Some of these are super cool. Whoa.
I'm looking at them. Some of them are close. Some of them no shot in hell.
Y'all think I got small feet? Yo, fuck y'all, bro. Fuck y'all, bro.
Let me. I want to say this to the whole point about the internet thing. Well, and then it becomes a sense of like entitlement. And Sage talked about this on his TL too. I think everybody's talked about it on his TL. So this woman right here, we're familiar with her.
Yes, I am.
Had her in the tuck for about a year.
Type shit.
Had her in the tuck. She was.
God, I love Queens, man.
But so she's been taking over Twitter, and this is her posting a video. Now she's made a video mentioning why she has been on Twitter. I should probably not be playing this right now.
I just jiggle.
But she has made a video claiming why she isn't on Twitter, right? It's weird on Twitter, it's disgusting, it's gross on Twitter. People get mean and all this stuff. This dude says this video lives in my head rent free. Cool, ain't nothing wrong with that. Dude says, I need to make more money. Okay, cool, little jokey joke. Buddy here says, why censor the toe?
Jesus Christ.
What?
What? Yo.
Jesus.
Yo. You freak a leak, yo.
You freaky fucking phone, bro. Fucking freak.
Wrong with niggas.
Go big or go home, am I right? Man, shut your lame ass up, yo.
Niggas be freaking. I ain't gonna lie, niggas be freaking on Twitter. Twitter is such a nasty place, and I'm mad that that's the platform I inhabit the most and I use the most. Because it's such a nasty place. It's hella random, and I know we was talking about boob strap lady, boob tape lady, but there was this post, somebody randomly was like, drop a picture of your baby, or drop a picture of your kid's first day. Outfit. And
I seen that.
And at first I'm like, I mean, all right, whatever. And then it took me a second, because I'm like, I wouldn't do it, but I'm looking, and I'm like, then it was like 3 pictures of people putting their kids there. Then somebody in bold letters, why are y'all giving random motherfuckers your children's photos? Look at the bookmarks. And I went back and looked, 100 bookmarks, 157 bookmarks, 116 book. I'm like, oh my God, you niggas are foul. And as you're scrolling down, you see every time somebody posts 117 bookmarks. I'm like, yo, why are y'all bookmarking babies? These are children. And niggas is just posting like, oh yeah, Terrence looks nice. Now 100 niggas that saved your child's photo. Like, niggas are sick.
Yo, side note, you can send out voice messages on Twitter now. Game changer.
You could have been to that.
Yeah, been to that.
Like in the DMs?
Yeah.
Oh,
in the DMs?
Oh, in the DMs, nah.
I didn't know
that.
How was that a game changer? What you finna do?
So it's about to get nasty.
Jesus Christ.
I was listening to a segment in the Joe Budden podcast, and he's got his 2 new co-hosts. I think Ice has a kid.
Ice and Spice.
And so he said that somebody DM'd him and said, yo, I've been watching for 4 months and you need to send me a picture.
I thought Brita came in there and snatched the I'm like, oh, damn. Whoa, my fault.
He said, you need to send me a picture of your kid because I feel invested about her every time that you talk about her on the podcast. What? Why do you need to send, like, you don't need.
Wait, who said that to Ice?
A DM, a fan DM. Just a random fan DM'd him and said, you need to send me a picture of your kid. I feel invested.
Yo, no way, bro.
I just don't. Dama, what would you do if somebody DM'd you and said, yo, I need to see a picture of your daughter?
I'm screenshotting it and I'm posting it straight to the timeline, and it's going to be captioned, you freaky fucking frog. You niggas need help. And yeah, put that nigga on blast because that's fucking disgusting. That's just crazy, bro.
You gonna blast him real good?
Real good.
Okay.
I don't think that's the guy to, you know what?
Yeah, it might not be the guy to blast.
No, never mind, man.
Real good.
Yo, boy Fizzy for $5 says, been here since the vaccine vid. I just don't talk, to be honest. I just now joined the Cord too. I'm so proud
like the
of
second
how
pod.
far y'all come though.
The vaccine vid. Man.
Vaccine pod, man. That was like the second pod. Peak COVID.
I can imagine my take on there. I ain't getting that motherfucking shit. The fuck? They trying to experiment with us. I can already imagine what the fuck I said then. Oh my God.
5G.
All these fucking 5G towers now? All right.
I can't believe niggas really thought that
5G was
kidnapping kids
so
to make chicken sandwiches.
dumb.
That
was so dumb.
Darius Williams for $4.99 says, since we're opening Pandora's box, I'm not anti-black, but I don't think black women can rock blonde hair.
Oh fuck no, you
this nigga spitting. Oh,
there's some jokes that boy.
Nah, this brother.
What you talking about? Like, nah, that ain't
said blonde wigs, blonde weave, and etc. So
that
fake
nigga
hair?
spitting, bro.
So he talking about blonde fake hair or like dyeing their hair blonde?
Blonde hair. Blonde hair in general.
Like
just rocking blonde hair, I think is
okay.
Yeah, nah.
Nah, some can pull it off.
I seen some pull that shit off.
I agree with you, my brother. Eli L. Edgar for $1.99 says, can I get a yes?
That's an OG sound. I don't know.
We
don't
still have that. I don't know.
I don't know we have that anymore.
We don't.
And we can't remake it. Crazy.
Damn.
Why you look over to see if Bree was walking in?
I got my second monitor right here.
Okay. If you want to play it. Lobie Warsaw for $2 says, not anti-black. Not everyone should grow their hair.
That's a black thing.
I didn't know that was a black.
That's racist.
I shouldn't grow my hair. Hate it when my hair's long.
This nigga's racist. 6'4". No.
Oh, what?
Oh my god.
Say it one time. Now he's scared for his life. Bro.
He's scared forever.
Scared for his life.
Big Brother Boma Sim says
He's
for
on
$20.
fire.
Hey, quit that. Talking about my dick.
What?
And last from here, Fanua. Oh, not last one. Hot take: people that are too deep into celebs and other people's relationships need to do some Hannah Baker shit.
I don't know what Hannah Baker shit means.
I don't know what the fuck
can
that
assume.
is.
That's
I
the
can
reasons
assume.
why.
Oh well, hey.
Wait, what's the baby? What's
I
the
agree.
baby? What's the baby for?
The pregnant men? I don't know.
The baby.
Like the pregnant people down there.
It's pregnant men. It's a bunch of pregnant men.
What does that have to do with Hannah Baker shit? Is what I'm asking.
What?
I don't
babies?
get it.
What are you talking about?
In the
The
super
niggas-
chat, the emojis on the super chat.
I don't see the emojis.
Yes,
I'm just gonna get.
I
check
don't. It's
confirmed.
literally
Yeah, I'm-
black squares.
Really? Oh well, there are a
Oh
bunch
hell
of
no! It's a
there's a
pregnant.
bunch
man.
of the men pregnant emojis, which I don't even know why.
I don't know. All I know is Hannah
You
Baker
talking about
cut
sending
herself
someone
in
to
the
the
show.
woo? You talking about sending yourself to the woo or some shit? I don't know. I don't know who Hannah Baker is.
I think it's. But I don't know what ending your life has to do with.
babies, pregnant males. Okay.
Playmaker Central for $4.99 says, "Is Omar still Jewish?" No, I'm full Jew. No, I am a Buddhist. I'm a Buddhist now. I'm going through that phase. I have been eating, pork. I mean, or beef. So
Facts.
yeah. And there's some. Milik for $5 says, "Been here since I was 344 under on my checking account. Currently sitting on a little under 40K in stock options. Most importantly, I'm proud of y'all 200K." I don't.
We're flexed on that. Yeah, I'm about to say, hey.
Okay.
I mean, congratulations, but nigga complimented himself twice, and then he said, "All right, but good shit for y'all though. I'd have more in my stocks."
E3 down for $1 says Netflix canceled too many good shows after season, just one season.
Yeah, which I agree with.
And then Lobie Warsaw for $2 says mint dreads, specifically with the hair thing. Damn.
What hair thing?
That is
What?
just
Oh, okay.
Blonde dreads?
Growing their hair. No, not blonde dreads. But
Not
just
a lot of niggas do that, done.
No, he's saying can grow their hair out. Should grow their hair out.
Not every nigga.
I don't agree with
Wicks.
wigs.
Yeah.
Wigs are fucking disgusting in my opinion. You niggas look like clowns.
Jawicks or
Just wicks in general. Just any kind of wicks. All you Florida baboons. Yeah, bro. Them
Jesus
wicks are
Christ.
disgusting.
I sent the Q&A link out there. We're gonna take one Q&A and then get the fuck out of here so we can
Whew.
watch the game and shit like that. I feel like
Things of
some of
that
these
nature.
hoes don't if y'all don't want to come here, we'll get up out of here. Brax two-tone for $4.99 says, super late to the pod,
He's on fire.
but here's this off the strength. What happened to the Kenry guy? That's still crazy ass.
How many OGs you think are just gone now?
A lot.
Like, you gotta think about it. Like,
Also depends on what you define as OGs.
I
Like, just
say
when y'all started, or
yeah, I'm about to say since to give people a chance. Since me and Omar are regular, like how many? Like, what are some notorious names that y'all were used to that are kind of like gone now? Like, you don't see that much no more.
CMB. Cock and balls, man.
That's a good one.
CMB is in the chat.
Wait. CMB, yeah, CMB talked last pod. I want to say CMB talked last time.
Damn.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? CMB
Crazy bananas.
used to throw bread.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy bananas is one.
Didn't he have military shit?
I don't know.
No.
That might be chronic.
That's
Not
chronic. That's chronic. I thought
that's
Crazy
chronic.
had something.
Crazy
I thought Crazy had
bananas.
something.
Oh, wait. Let me ask y'all a question. This is an extension of this. And my
D. Taylor.
fault in there. That's crazy. But who do y'all think fell off the most since the first awards? Like, cause you remember, I don't know if y'all because they had a conversation about this in Discord, and Sean was upset because a lot of niggas said Sean fell off, but
He not drinking like that?
nah, he's just not that guy no more, I guess.
I mean,
But
anytime I hover, I'll say this as the nigga that's
Just be
not
there.
as the I'm not even saying I am in Discord like that, but every time I even think about, hey, I'm gonna hop in VC, I hover over the bitch, and it's just like I don't see the same names that I usually see. So this is interesting.
Since the first award show,
I'm gonna need to see the award like nominees.
Yeah,
the finalists for the MVP. I want to say it was nigga said Brandon SB. Nah, Brandon SB still out there. Brandon SB.
Yeah.
He was in the second award show. He wasn't in the first one.
Who, Sean?
No,
Brandon
BSB.
Is that SB?
The young SB.
Hey,
Anwar.
Oh, where is Anwar?
No. Anwar took a break specifically mainly because of me and Omar. Yeah, because me and Omar. Really, he disappeared because of us.
But that's fine. Anwar definitely is.
Father Meme fell off the face of the earth. Nigga.
MK won an award that year.
She did.
MK. I think technically, right? Because
we have Cool Bro in this.
Cool Bro cooked himself, man. I'll never forget that shit.
Yeah, he did to himself. That doesn't count.
And every time he pop up, somebody be like, "Hey, Cool Bro, you still hanging around?" He
leaves. That's Larry, man. Larry is still.
I don't think Father Meme fell
Larry
off.
Still be thugging
in another Discord.
He fell off. Hey, exactly why he fell off. If you're not around, you fell off. Big M fell off.
Oh, Big M, yeah, Big M is one of them.
Oh, actually,
that was directly because we switched to Discord. That shit was
Cool Bro fell off. I mean, you go over here trying to give context. I feel it. Fell off.
Plus ratio.
Who said Mama Astro? Mama Astro still be around. Nigga, are you even in the Discord?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know the last time I saw Astro.
Astro stopped coming around the moment his mama became a member in the community. That's what that was. Astro, Mama Astro ruined the pod for Astro, nigga. I still remember the day she popped up.
Oh, PJ? Yeah. PJ might be in there too.
PJ, he pop in and out every now and then.
Jason
did fall off. Nah, Jason fucked up when he had.
What now you adding context?
Yeah, he did fall off.
What about Med? Do Med be acting?
Yeah, somebody said Med. Yeah, somebody said Med.
Med fell off.
Damn, y'all niggas got lives.
Damn, niggas. Nah, bro. Once we make it, then niggas want to support the come up. They don't want to support you when you make it, man. That's crazy.
Nah, niggas say we switched up. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, that definitely heard that one.
I've been in the Discord for like a couple months. About not even a couple months, couple weeks. I had to get my money up. Omar bullied me into getting in the Discord.
Oh my god!
But my question
liking
was, yeah, it's smooth. They be talking about some weird shit in there. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of racist agendas in there. I ain't gonna lie.
So that be smooth to you?
Not obviously.
It's smooth when it's not against the black.
So that's smooth to you? Like that's a good experience.
What the hell y'all be doing in Discord?
I didn't know
funny. It'd be funny as hell, bro. I seen Dom on there, and I think I've seen you in there a couple times. I just never catch y'all in there when I'm in there.
You got a job?
Yeah. Because I be at work. That's what I'm saying. I don't be one of them sitting Discord for 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's time to give it up.
But, my question,
quit.
So I had two questions. So like, do y'all feel like people
I should stay at my job now.
Have idols? Do y'all feel like it's okay for people to have idols type shit, like idolize people? Do y'all feel like that's okay?
In general? Yeah.
I
mean, it's okay as long as it's something beneficial, something productive. As long as it's a positive idol, I don't think people should be idolizing niggas like King Von.
Okay.
Well, idol is a strong word. I don't like how are you using that? Because
I use idol as like drawing inspiration from something.
Yeah, like you model your life after that person. Because
okay, no. Okay, wait, no.
Wait a minute.
The same comparison of like parasocial relationships, because like if you feel like that's your idol, you feel like you know how that person would act.
Wait, do you have an idol? Is that why you're asking this?
Hell nah. I'm my own person. I don't know. Nah, I don't got no idols. I don't idolize nobody for real.
I think my only thing is that like sometimes we get to this place, or the people that do this, like people really don't be looking into people. People really just surface level a lot of this shit. And then come to find out the person that you looked into, that nigga's ass.
Facts.
But like a criminal ass. For real. Like not even like just you're kind of stinky, but no,
Trey
like
songs. No one ever looked up the Trey songs.
Like,
no, but somebody
example, didn't niggas used to look up to Bill Cosby? Like, cause he had the Cosby Show. He was like one of the first people with their own first black people with their own.
Niggas did look up to Bill Cosby,
and people probably looked up the Trey songs too. And then R.
Kelly,
Robert. You know,
There's still niggas to look up to Chris Brown. This nigga right now with blonde hair that do backflips every time he dance because Chris Brown.
So I don't know. I think idolization is weird. You may be able to admire a certain perspective or thing that a person does. Like, oh yeah, I admire, his arms.
Hey, yo.
Yo, bro, we're not doing AO this.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I came a little late. I forgot.
Yeah. You can admire, how fit he is.
Look at them. But yeah, that was my question. I was just drawing that conclusion, like not conclusion, but that
nigga saying Duke Dennis. Now that's crazy.
I was just drawing that comparison to like parasocial relationships because like
who
people
do you,
like
who do you admire? Who do you admire?
I don't admire nobody. Omar.
You don't admire anyone.
Not for real. When I was younger, I ain't gonna lie. When I was
cool
younger, I was like obsessed with like
Kobe,
J. Cole and Hobson. But Hobson, I know.
Hobson?
I know.
What?
That's when I was like 12.
Hobson? That 12?
Forehead came out. That was my.
With the color contacts?
Nah.
Yo.
That's with the color context. Yes, with the color context. Nigga. Yeah,
I did try to skate though.
Ooh, hazel eyes.
Nigga, there's no way you was up all night listening to
Nigga
fucking
said,
J. Cole
my
and
hero.
You asked your mom for color contacts?
Hell no, but my mom was not going for that shit. My mama old. I was raised by an old lady. My mama.
But you wanted to, right? You just
no.
She was gonna say no. I'm not even gonna try.
I got on skateboard one time, almost broke my kneecap. Never got on another one again.
Hey, that's all it takes. That first fall really tests if you really want to skate or not, bro.
Real shit.
Same thing.
I rolled my ankle.
Skated in the Walmart. Never skated again, man.
How old are you?
I'm 23. I done been in spaces with y'all before. I don't care about that. I just got in the Discord.
You idolize like LeBron. You never idolized like LeBron or admired LeBron or anything like that?
And this is gonna be another crazy. When I was younger, because I'm a Ravens fan too. So when I was younger, I used to idolize Ray Lewis, man. I thought that was the ideal man. Then as I got older, I realized that nigga shot at people.
So you did idolize people though.
When I was young, I'm talking about now though. Now that I'm an adult,
you found out he was a murderer.
Yeah. When I got older, I realized the nigga was a murderer, and I was like,
Wait, what I will say is, I don't think any grown adult should be out here idolizing grown adults around their age. I will say that.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't idolize. I don't think I idolize nobody.
Like if I was like, oh my god, Jason Tatum, it's like that's weird. like, it's a little weird.
He didn't look at me so.
Hey, so what you got going on, man? What's this?
Not too much on JT, bro.
I'm just saying,
Imagine Bezos coming on the pod. Yo, man, I really look up to this nigga Salt Poppy. Like what?
Nah, bro. Every time I get on Twitter, bro, I see Bezos. Why you gonna respond? Oh, how you gonna respond? I seen that same.
That tweet coming, man. I just can't spam it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta save it for the special moments.
Did you come up with that? Because niggas is dead.
Nah, there was a Harden account that did it. Okay. I've been trying to find him. I can't find the fucking tweet. But
I've been seeing so many niggas do that shit. Now I'm like, the first nigga I seen do it was Souls. Y'all niggas is
that shit was funny the first time, and then he dropped that goose egg. Not goose egg.
How would you respond? This is how he responded. That shit was hilarious. That's how you respond?
No, he dropped 7. The next 3 games went 0-10 in the first half. And I'm like,
that's what I was like. I was like, damn. So,
and then game 7 happened. Yeah, I'm talking my shit. Fuck y'all.
Y'all sperm.
You start going crazy at 4 quarters.
Anyway, get out of here.
Yeah.
I had a good time tonight. Bezos, say goodbye to people, man.
Peace out, y'all. Already say Ruby is my idol.
Oh wait, Damo, did you look and see who got the shoe size? Do you know our shoe sizes, Damo?
I know Sage's, and I can tell you right now, no one gets Sage's right. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the.
Do we just reveal it now or no?
We can because they suck. So.
Oh well, they're gonna guess. They're gonna guess in the
Discord?
The VOD.
Oh, the VOD?
The comments. Yeah, he's on the comment section.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say, the one that does the dead giveaways if they get Sages, right? So.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
And no one got, and niggas was close. I will say, people
niggas
got
were
mad
close.
Niggas got mad close, but nah.
Hey, man, that's smaller, bigger. I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you, gang.
Too many whole numbers, too.
Now, I will say this. I do know, I can tell a lot of you niggas got little feet. Because I don't know, not y'all up here, but the niggas in chat, I know y'all got little feet. Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but after size 12.5, there is no more fucking halves, nigga. Like it don't go by half after 12.5.
Oh,
So
really?
there
I didn't know.
that's how you know you got small feet. After you hit 13, there is no 13 and a half,
He got you.
14 and a half. That doesn't happen. Like it's literally 13, 14, 15, 16.
That's
So
a fact.
just to help y'all, I'm seeing niggas put Damo wearing 14 and a half. What the fuck, nigga?
Former sneakerhead can confirm.
Somebody did not understand the assignment. Bezos 8 inches.
Sage 7. Why is Sage?
Why I ain't hit the over? Why I ain't hit the over on 8? Why am I 7.5, man? What's
Inches. Sage, think about it to people, man.
All right, people. You probably got everybody's right if you get my shoe size right. Being said, follow me on my channel. Trying to hit 70K by the end of July. 100K dream is barely alive, but still alive. Y'all take care and stay blessed, man. I got much to say. I'm hungry as hell.
I see a close one. Damo, think about it to people, man.
All right, Chaz, being my favorite midnight snack, and we will be back Monday. Hey man, Lakers in 6.
Bye, guys.
I'm not talking shit on Jokic either. Hell no. Fuck that. He got it.